Yep, definitely.
Holy crap.
I think for me it would be the ovaries.
Cross your ovaries, everyone.
Wait. Oh my God. Are we
I'm
going
trying.
live right now?
Holy
Yeah.
shit. I think it
We
worked.
are live.
Holy shit. That worked.
Wow.
Wow.
Actually, in a broken way, but whatever. It's fucking working, right?
We're episode 195.
195. I think.
195.
Don't fix it if it's broke.
I know. I'm not touching
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, don't
It's
touch
a new saying. Don't
adjustments.
fix
Yeah.
it if it's broke.
Wow,
I literally
wow.
was testing this like 2 hours ago, and then I just clicked like the go live, and it gave me an error. But apparently, it's fucking working.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Nice.
All right. Airs for the win.
Bonus.
We are armed and dangerous and online.
We are.
hey,
And
look at that.
ass.
Welcome to the
That's too
Arcade
bad.
Hangout, everyone.
Episode 195.
195 coming at you.
Plus tax.
At ya.
From the interwebs. America's favorite, most downloaded, and talked about controversial, impeachable show
The
ever.
most downloaded penis.
Nice.
We are unimpeachable.
Unimpeachable. With more girls than the
Can't
next
see the line,
guy.
can you, Russ?
No.
110% more women, especially if
Yeah.
Gabriella comes on again. We'll really kick
Yeah.
the ratio.
Right.
I'm actually gonna send her that link right now. So she
Yeah,
can
right,
join.
Gabby, come on, get drunk with us. Anyway,
Yeah.
yes, we are the Arcade Hangout. I am one of your hosts, Mock, the Magic Man. Just call me Mock. We are joined here with Andrew. Raise your hand. And 34K.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. C. Bart, raise your hand. Carrie, raise your ovaries.
Oh,
I have to
Excuse
stand
me
up to
while I
that.
whip this out.
Yeah, right.
Hello.
We'll have no raising of ovaries on this show.
Yeah.
that's sexist.
Yeah, that's sexist. Jim, raise your ovaries. And we had Dave from Buffalo. And I don't know if Gak's going to join us. I don't think so. He's in recovery, but we can't wait to have him back. We miss him.
We
So-
love you, Gak. Come back.
Yes,
Yes.
we miss you.
Yeah, the
Yes,
penis
yes.
enlargement surgery went well.
The penis removal surgery went perfect.
Oh,
Oh.
And he can raise his own ovaries.
Oh no.
Anyway, yes.
my God.
So this is the Arcade Hangout. We are
I
a
think
group
there's
of
a new
friends.
obsession Mock has with ovaries.
know.
It's the ovary
Something you
show.
want to tell us? Yeah.
Mark, did you finally get enough money for a sex change?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
I'm
I have
working
to
on
tell
it.
you guys
I
something.
want to join the
I
club.
thought it was just rumors all this time. Yeah.
Let's see. This is a show that's been going on for what, 4 or 5 years now, and we still have about 200 subscribers.
for some
But we
reason,
do the show for fun, for us. So
They're just hoping we'll upload something else.
yeah, just
someday.
just do something.
Do
But we
something
like to
different.
get together
Good
and
luck.
chat and share our
It's like
collections.
it's like Joe's vegan channel. Someone they're just hanging on, hoping for an arcade video.
I know. When are you going to show a game already?
When was his last game review? 2001?
Oh,
shutting
he
up
did one
now.
like a year or so ago.
Yeah, that's rare.
But it's
But yeah, I missed his arcade.
But we
content,
digress.
But he's not really
Yes,
doing
we
arcade
do.
stuff, so he's not really, all in right now. So hopefully he'll come back. When his kids get older, he'll come back to us. But anyway, yes, we're a group of friends like to get together once a week and talk arcade games and multimedia and TV shows and Bandersnatches.
Pretty much
and,
the same stuff that everyone else talks about, basically.
Yep. And we're,
It's a
and we're
talk
going to
show.
talk and spoil Mandalorian tonight.
awesome.
Oh, good.
I literally just got a D plus account access tonight. So tomorrow I'm watching that.
Give you the D plus.
That's right.
Yeah. So
I
everybody
get an
that
F plus.
I'm not gonna, I won't ruin a thing about it. I'll just say that everybody
Tell me
that
more
I've
about
talked
your
to, everybody that I've talked to has loved it. So I'm just like, I'm so happy that they've made something good that I don't go, ugh, or this is lame, or
Well, my brother Josh said it's the best Star Wars he's seen in years.
in a long time. Yes.
So
And
He's-
I like that it's not geared towards little teeny kids where
Mm.
it's like, I'm glad they didn't add like a little kid, like as a sidekick, that I could see them doing shit like that. Where are we going, Uncle Boba Fett?
Yeah.
oh, you mean like Attack of the Clones with the whole
Yeah,
like,
just fucking putting
Yeah.
kids in the movie just so
The
it
baby
has
Boba
like a
Fett.
more, how like shows would do that. Let's put a kid in it. No,
He's-
let's not.
But that
Do you,
kid
you
in-
remember all the children in the original trilogy?
No, I'm talking about Disney though. Disney would do something like that for a
fuck,
show.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'm
No,
glad
but
didn't.
they still did that shit with like again, Attack of the Clones. They had like the baby Boba Fett, which is like the little kid who's angry.
Oh
whole
yeah,
fucking-
that's
he's
right.
like,
And
Get
you
him,
got-
Dad! Get
and you
him!
got-
Get him!
and you got-
Fire!
shoot him!
Get him!
You cut my dad's head off, and
Oh,
now I'm
fuck.
holding it.
In a weird
Yeah,
way,
right.
because like, what kid? If that was real life, the kid would fucking run away.
Yeah, and do you think he'd shake that helmet to get his dad's head out?
That's
Dad,
mine.
Get your head out. I gotta
It's like
bury you.
fucking lollipop. It's like, I'm like,
You
I'll
just
get the
made me
prize
into
out of
the
here.
best bounty hunter ever.
So disturbing.
yeah, that
yeah.
was terrible.
So yes, so Mandalorian. So we'll wait like 2 or 3 months, and we'll revisit it or we can
Oh,
just
I was
talk
prepared
about
to
it
be
as
spoiled.
spoilers.
Yeah, we should be totally going for passe. That's
I was prepared for you guys to spoil it. I don't care. I'm probably never gonna watch
I'm not
it.
spoiling nothing. It's a series anyway. It's not a movie, so it's
Yeah.
a kind of like chapters, almost like a book, because it's like I think it's the first one's 40 minutes, the second one's 30 minutes. I don't know. The third one's not out yet. It comes out every Friday, I believe. So
Queue up
we
Friday.
only have 2 episodes, and both of them are awesome.
Don't you dare, Jim.
Yeah,
I
so
don't have it.
I think I might watch it
YouTube.
again. That's how much I liked it. It's like The Boys. You know how fun that was.
I'm excited for that season too.
Yeah.
When's that supposed to come out?
Well, The Boys is already out. It's just the
Boys
second-
2.
Boys,
Boys,
Boys
2.
just-
It's in production right now. They're
Oh,
filming. it.
all right. I just didn't know if
Actually, I think they
Yeah.
just wrapped production on it.
They might have, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember I follow Carl Urban because he's my man crush.
He is
I
a
love Carl
fine-looking
Urban.
gentleman.
Yes.
He was great
I
in
want
Lord
to
of
be
the Rings.
reincarnated as Carl Urban. Then I can get laid finally.
Zing!
Shabam! But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So what was I say? Oh yeah. So I follow him on Twitter, and he said he's filming the show because people were like asking him, "We love your show. You know, are you guys gonna keep going with it? Did you get greenlit?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're already filming right now." So I was like, "Yes." So I can't wait to see how that all plays out. Did everybody watch it? Dave, did you watch it?
What?
The first season of Boys?
The first.
Oh, yes.
season.
The whole thing on the way to and from Crankers.
Oh, cool.
Holy
Andrew,
shit.
Andrew, did you finish it?
I didn't finish.
It's
it.
impressive,
Oh
Dave.
shit,
Yes.
Andrew! Shame on you.
Remember,
I've had Grinkers shit going on, so I'm glad Dave got to watch it. But I've
Well,
been
our
doing
show. Yeah.
leading
Finish
up
the
to
show.
that.
Are
Finish
you
that
watching it
show.
with the wifey, or you watching it by yourself?
With the wifey?
Okay, so you got to knock that one out because
Yeah.
so we can talk about it because that's
But I just got
Or-
D plus.
I think you're I know, but you know, like
It
so
just makes me laugh every
It's
time.
like-
as a
someone says that. I
challenge
just
to
think of-
yourself,
It's like
I think of dick jokes every time.
challenge
Plus.
yourself and see what isn't on Disney Plus. Because that's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm gonna find the most obscure shit. The black hole. Oh, it's there. Let's
Love the
see. What
black
about?
Don't I have black hole on the fucking Plex? I thought I did. If I don't,
think you might, but
I did.
I'm just
Anyway.
kind of like looking at
Yeah,
some
yeah,
like
yeah,
weird
yeah.
Disney movies, like what's another one I looked?
That's a
at
great
that was
movie.
Computer
there?
that wore tennis shoes.
Yeah, like that, or The Strongest Man in the World. Those Kurt Russell movies, you know, when he was like 22 years old or
Never saw the strongest.
playing a high
Well, there.
schooler.
The Cat from Outer Space.
Cat from Outer Space is on there, and that was a movie I always wanted to see as a kid. That wasn't there. That didn't get to
The
see.
Prince
so.
and the Pauper.
Okay, here's how abstract I went. Have you guys ever heard of the Disney movie, The Unidentified Flying Oddball? Have you ever heard of that movie?
No.
It's where a guy from NASA flies a spaceship and he comes back to Earth and he's in like medieval times. Yeah, that's an original concept. But
Wow.
he's got to fight
The
knights.
name
and
sounds
things.
familiar, but that premise doesn't.
Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about? Like the new Disney app that
This-
everybody's
the
Yeah,
new
their new
Disney-
streaming service.
Stream-
Yeah, it's like Netflix for Disney content, but it's not just Disney because they've opened it up to like their Fox library.
So how much
stuff.
is it?
It's only
$7
$7 a month. And
Wow.
so like you know shows on Fox like the X-Men series, the animated X-Men series that they used to have. All the entire library is on there of that.
What am I doing?
Uh,
Now,
you
can
got-
you stream
Glass.
like Mary Poppins?
Yes.
All
Anything
that
you can
stuff.
think of, just about. And the things that they don't have on there, the Marvel stuff, is because it's connected. It's coming. It'll show that it's coming, but they're still under contract with like Netflix or whatever, and they can't show it until they're done.
I mean,
with it.
I pay for so much. I pay for
Yeah.
Star streaming through Amazon. I pay for Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Or
same here.
Netflix.
But what's another $7?
I pay for cable.
I know, right? It's fucking
Yeah,
death by a
it's
thousand
another
cuts.
it's another one, but there is a lot of stuff on there. If it's stuff that you think you'd be interested in. To me, The Mandalorian was so good. I'm like, this was worth my $7.
I'll just wait for it to show up on Andrew's Plex.
No, Mandalorian was so good. I didn't feel ripped off at that point, you know. And plus, there's so much. I mean, Gargoyles.
Well,
remember the show
well, if you
Gargoyles?
look at-
That was
if
great.
you-
That was great. That
I
was
mean,
like totally
you could
along
make
the
the
lines of-
argument, Steve. You could make the argument that you're talking about Mandalorian. It's a series. It's the best like Star Wars. You know, like it's this great Star Wars thing. I mean, if you go see a 2-hour movie in the theater, you're going to pay what, $15, like at the end of the day at least.
Yep.
And so for $7, okay.
And it's going to be 8-episode run, and it's super popular.
Well, I guess it's not 7. It'd
So it's
be
at
like
least
a subscription.
2
They're
months
already
then.
shooting
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
season
a
2
subscription.
right now. They're shooting John Favreau. This
Don't
is
make
his-
me talk myself into this.
John Favreau, this is his baby. He's writing this with George Lucas. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and
So-
John
and-
That might be a
and-
mistake.
And well, no, he's just like a little advisor, but also the guy who does the Clone Wars, that writes that show.
Yeah, the
that was
cartoon,
real popular. A lot of
That
people
makes
love
a
the
lot of
Clone
sense.
Wars.
I think I have all those
So-
on Plex.
Yeah.
Well, John Favreau is the whole reason why we got Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Like the whole saga. He started it with Iron Man.
yeah.
so,
yeah.
I mean,
so
yeah.
John Favreau, he loves.
And I love him
Star
in
Wars
Swingers.
and- yeah, Swingers is great.
I fucking love that movie. Everyone forgets
Yeah.
about that, but
Oh, it's the
yeah.
best movie ever.
You're some money and you don't even know it.
his voice, the voicemail he leaves. That's like, I remember having conversations with my guy friends when like in high school and like college, and we're like, this is, you need to watch this movie so you can learn from it.
Oh yeah.
He
Oh,
makes every mistake
oh.
that I think every guy's probably made in their,
I like when he looks at women like prey and they turn into bunny rabbits. Remember that?
Matt
You're a
Vaughn's
wolf.
in there, right? Too. Yeah, he's really.
Yeah,
God,
he's the
they're so
friend.
young. Yeah,
they're really young and thin.
I
God,
like when
that's so
he's
good.
when he's getting the delivery and they're playing hockey and he's like, "Is he brown? Is he clean? Tell him to come in." And he's all embarrassed. Oh, it's the best.
So good.
Oh, I watched Tron because it's in like super HD. It looks
Ooh.
super
Oh, yeah.
clear. It
Do
looks
they-
so sweet.
Do they have the Tron cartoon? The what
Yes,
the hell was that
the
called?
entire series, Tron.
Uprising.
Uprising. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and they
I
have
watched
Fuck,
it.
that was good. I was so
All right.
pissed
It's
there's
all
not a
on
second
there.
They
season.
never put
They-
that shit out on DVD.
No, and it's good.
And the
It's
last
super good.
episode,
Yeah.
the last episode of that, they fucking tease it
Cliffhanger.
perfectly, and then no
Yeah,
second season. I was
cliffhanger.
like,
I know.
ah!
Canceled it.
I
I
know.
totally.
and
I wanted that desperately on.
Here's
fucking
what's so fucked about that is that show was real popular. It had good ratings and everything, and just I don't know.
So good.
Disney didn't want to put any more money into it for whatever reason. I wish it would come back. Maybe
So
they'll
lame.
continue it when I know it's so good.
It was really
Eventually,
good.
they're gonna
Mhm.
run out of something. They're gonna be like, maybe we should revisit Tron 3.
The only thing I didn't like about it is the protege to Tron never used his disc to kill anybody. It's
Yeah.
like typical Disney fucking shit.
But the escape
Yeah, you know.
It's just throw your disc and kill programs. Come on.
Oh my God, the
They're
voice
not
actor.
people. Yeah.
They're not people. Yeah, they do it in the movie.
The voice actor for Clue was an amazing like what's an imitation of fucking Jeff Bridges.
Oh, it sounded a lot like them.
Sounded just like him, and then it was cool that they had Bruce Box.
Bruce Boxleitner. Yeah, I think he was
Thank
the
you.
voice on the show, wasn't he?
He
He
played
was.
Yeah.
He
was
played
the
Tron on
voice.
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
He's
so fucking good.
Did
And I
did you
love
watch
how
all the
they
way through, Andrew?
explained.
Yeah, I watched every episode. It was on Netflix, I think, for a while.
Oh, okay.
I love that they were able to explain like what happened to him in Legacy, because you only see
Yeah,
like
they go
it
into so
tied in
much
so
great
well.
backstory.
Like
Yeah.
that actually made me appreciate Tron Legacy more because
Mhm.
because of that show. But because I was like, oh, okay.
hmm And they even have an episode with Cora in it, which I thought was
Well,
cool.
shit. Why don't they do a live action series? How fucking awesome would
Yeah.
that be?
They could. I don't know why
Fucking
they
amazing.
couldn't.
Yeah.
But because that's probably the money.
Just
But
green
it'd be.
screen.
Well, they still should totally
They could do a
revive that
pilot.
fucking-
They could do a fucking pilot, and if it does well, do a series. Like, like if they're worried about money, because that's not why they canceled Tron 3.
Disney's not worried about money.
And the thing is, Tron made money. That Tron Legacy
did. It
made
did well.
money across the board, America and overseas. And the reason why they didn't make a sequel like they were supposed to is just because they were in a little bit of financial struggling when Tomorrowland cost a lot of money and it tanked. So they were like in the hole, like a I don't know, didn't the movie cost like $3 million or no $300 million to make or something crazy, and it bombed.
Well, and think now too how far de-aging technology has come, like how good, like look at the Marvel stuff. They can make Jeff Bridges look so much better. Like and it looked he didn't look at the time. It wasn't terrible. That looked great. Yeah,
but it was
when he's
passable.
like it depends on where. I actually thought Clue looked better than the de-aged Jeff Bridges, you know, the Flynn character look. But for the time, it was like no one was really doing that, so it was pretty impressive that they even went that route. I thought in certain lighting he looked better than in others. When he's walking out the door to say we're always on the same team, he looked better there than he did when he was in the bedroom. Like, anyways, but they could do.
Love Tron. Awesome. I mean, look at the ride at Shanghai. That is the most popular ride in the park.
Where? Shanghai?
Shanghai Disneyland. Ah!
That was the wrong sound.
Disney World's getting Tron, and supposedly Disneyland's getting Tron, but it's on hold right now. But anyway, people love Tron, so let's bring it back.
Yeah,
on Disney.
Yeah.
You got enough Marvel money.
I remember getting excited. I bought the Blu-ray, and there's so much content on there that sets up a sequel, and then it's just like,
I know. Tron right there.
And you see fucking what's his name that played Ram. He's in that the little the teaser, the like post scene where Alan visits him and he's like, I got this tape and all this stuff, and he's burning all this footage and things like that. And
when they follow,
because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to get traced. Yeah.
That's like a little side movie they have on there.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get to be in the real movie.
All I hope is that if they ever do a sequel, they got it. He's got the little SD card or whatever with everything. I want him to pursue his dad. Like he's got to be able to find, he's not dead. Like, because to me, like as much as the story should be about Tron, it's also a lot about Flynn. And
the first one was that way too. It was named Tron, but it really wasn't Tron's story.
No,
it's Flynn's story.
Right. Yeah, Flynn's story. And Tron was just storytelling. Device.
Yeah, although everyone, I think probably the biggest complaint about Legacy was that there wasn't enough Tron in there, as Tron.
Right? He was Rinsler, the fucking coffee pot.
He was
like. Now, did you know Rinsler was Tron the whole time?
As soon as I saw the 3 dots with a dot underneath, yeah,
you're like, that looks sort of like Tron, but it's like a little bit different. Yeah,
but like he has the 3 dots with this, the three squares with the square underneath. It's like that's
when he says the first time I saw it, I didn't until he said user after he defeated Sam,
and it's like totally Bruce Boxleitner's fucking voice too.
The synthesis a little bit on it,
a little bit digitized, a
little bit.
I gotta watch that movie again.
I was just saying in the IRC, I watch fucking Legacy all the time. Like I'll just throw it on in the background anytime.
I do too.
If nothing else, it's great music and great sound. Like that was what I bought that
music
soundtrack
is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing music in that movie.
They'd be dumb not to bring them back.
I love the guy who played Zeus in the movie. He's one of my favorite characters in the movie. He's so good in it.
What's that actor's name? He's a British actor, right?
Yeah, he just has a small part, but he just like chewed up the scenery big time in that movie.
He did. He owned that whole scene.
He did. He was great.
Say hello to our maker.
And then I love the bartender in the background of Steven Lisberger from the original Tron.
Yeah.
So anyway, make Tron 3. Let's do it. So supposedly the third movie is supposed to be about the guy that
the real world, right?
You see the actor in Tron Legacy sitting at the table. He was Sark's son. He's a guy from Peaky Blinders. That actor.
He played Scarecrow and
Scarecrow.
Christopher Nolan.
He was supposed to be he was supposed to be the central enemy bad guy in the third movie.
Makes sense. He's the new Dillinger.
They also tease that. They also tease that his dad is still working with the MCP too, because he's got like a chat thing going, and he says end of line.
He's playing as a corporate spy basically in there. So It'll be a corporate takeover movie, I'm sure. And what they really need to do is introduce internet shit into it. Instead of just keeping it into a lockdown server, they should have brought in.
Well, they
internet
kind of
stuff.
allude to that when their OS it gets thrown on. Sam puts it on the web for everyone.
It exists.
Like,
yeah, obviously there's an internet in that world. Yeah,
but they don't. But as far as like in the grid or whatever, they need to bring. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Steve.
Mock, did you ever, or any of you guys like PC gamers? You guys ever play Tron 2.0 for the PC?
Oh yeah,
I remember. I heard it was good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
I have it. Yeah, I have it in my little
actually,
Tron shrine.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty fucked up idea that like basically it's still a closed system thing, like we were talking about, Jim, but like they introduced the idea of viruses. So basically, there's a virus system that's taking over the system as you're fighting through it, and actually you can get infected, and it fucks up your own systems. But like your own systems, it's like a little bit RPG-ish, very early style, but like you can add upgrades so that your disc is stronger or that your armor is stronger.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter, which is kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
But like there's like you have disc battles, you can block discs, and you get into great fights. It's really well done. And it's Tron. I mean, looking at the world, it's black polygons with the outlines and everything. It's super fun.
I think Steve, he's got his Robotron and all of its limited space. He talks about I think his 3 vids that he needs is a Robotron, a Dragon Slayer, a full-size Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
And he needs to get rid of that main cabinet so he has a little space, and then he can have a Tron, whether that's discs or the regular Tron.
Yeah.
And discs and put that next to his Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
He'd be a happy dude. Hey, look who it is. It is Gabriella.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you guys, I got to show you my Tron stuff.
Sorry, we're still on a Tron boner here.
All right.
Nice shirt, by the way,
Tron,
Steve.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter. I got a little Tron light cycle thing here.
I've got the white one.
Toy.
I've got the white one version of that.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I got this supposed to light up, but the batteries are dead.
I want a hamburger. No, a cheeseburger. I want
I've got
hot dog. I want a milkshake.
There's a PSP Tron.
You'll get nothing like it.
Wow.
I've got the handheld Tron.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
Got asteroids?
I showed you the pictures at my work of all my little Tron Kubrick toys. Those are really cool. This is my band for Disney World. It's it's Tron. So that's that. So that's what we use to get on the rides like Fast Pass. Like you go boop. You pay for things with it and stuff. And let's see, 2 more things. I got what Andrew was talking about.
Yep. I love that. That's a beautiful box too. It's all super rainbowy.
Oh wow, yeah, very reflective.
So this is a really fun game. They came up with a cool way to make things glow, like the vector lines.
It's weird that they came out with that game when like
what year
Tron
did that come
really
out?
wasn't. That's in the mid 90s, right?
It's
2003.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It was early
is that
2000s.
like-
It was totally random that it came out. It did.
Yeah,
It just
'cause
came
it's
out,
like-
and they have
They're like banking. I
Cindy-
think there's a cult following for this. Let's
they got
Exactly.
the voice actors from Bruce Boxleitner and Cindy Morgan. Is it her-
Cindy
right?
Morgan. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah. So here's something that my cat fucked up. That so this is something that was a Comic-Con exclusive. I think GAC has this too, but it looks like the arcade machine kind of. Like it's the same shape, but inside is
Well, just fucking open it.
It's cat feces.
yeah. I wasn't just open it. At this point.
At this point,
Cat thought it was a litter box.
It doesn't light up anymore, but it used to light up. It's what inside is just a figure of Tron holding up his
A dead cat.
his disc, his dead cat.
well, and Steve, you got the disc too,
Oh.
right?
Oh yeah,
he's got the dick.
Get
I
your
got the
disc.
All right, but real quick though, I had this sitting
Here.
on my desk, and
I'll
my
put a
cat
disc.
came over with his claws and went
Fucker.
and shredded it. Fucker. Hold on.
He's gonna go get his disc, but it looks like this.
quick mute him.
We can
It looks like the eye in fucking the original Twilight Zone.
we can fucking fight.
At least from my view, I'm right in the middle between you guys. Oh,
Carrie, duck.
We're nerding out here.
God.
I love Tron.
If 34 overshoots, it's going right past Mock and into you.
yeah.
Got the
Well,
move.
with my view, he has to go through me to get to Mock.
Oh.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the YouTube feed and
I
going.
got the movie poster back there.
If 34 overshoots,
Hey,
Harry's getting that
that's
data
the
disc.
control program everybody's been talking about.
I can't take mine out. Actually, at some point, someone on Klob was doing the badges. Do you have a Tron badge? Let me pull that up. It's above my game. It's on my. I've got a different poster, but here.
Well, I gotta go, you guys. It's
Gary, sorry I sold your
Good
truck.
night, Jim.
Yeah.
Good game of Cheyenne
Yeah.
tonight.
I don't regret it though, to be honest. Like I had to hear, like I'm so like when I was between
That
the
was a
Hypersports
crazy
and
game.
that, I love hypersports. I love track and field.
Oh, good.
I hope you're not mad at me because I.
Oh no, not at all.
The
The
guy
only,
is such a
the only.
boner that got it.
Oh, that's good because and
Oh,
the only
sorry.
thing that
Prove
I've
it.
ever the only time I've been like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have traded that game was when I heard about the multi-game with Satan's Hollow.
Oh yeah.
Because me and Tron ain't got no love between us, and so
Oh,
no,
it
the
was
Satan's
funny.
Hollow thing that would have been cool, but and it's a
and
cool looking
Con.
game.
I had both in my garage, and I'm looking at.
I
The-
see
the
your
lanyard.
You know what?
end
It was the idea.
Oh,
and then it was
cool.
here.
I
don't know how you survived.
And it has a pin.
Yeah.
Where'd you get
I was
that?
so excited to get it, and I'm like,
See,
oh my God.
this was like 10 years ago.
Three
I-
conversations at once.
I know.
I know, right?
So I went to E3 in 2002, I think it was. And
We can wait them out. It's okay.
This is real quick.
We're
So
still talking
I'm
about
going-
Tron.
I'm going through E3, going
We are
looking at
too,
the
the
booths.
arcade
My-
game.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
my first year there. And what do I walk across is a table with Steven Lisberger. Next to him is Bruce Boxleitner. Next to him is Sydney Morgan. And next to her is Sid Mead. Sid Mead is the
How quickly
futurist.
did you cream your pants?
So yeah, I got autographs from everybody and chatted with everybody, and that was just like a
Tattoos.
surreal moment to get all of those people together. It was a very fanboy Tron moment, and they were there to promote the Tron game. You know, it was coming out the following year for the Tron 2.0 because all their voices are in it. And I guess Sid Mead helped design some of the aesthetics in the game. You know, some of the
It's perfect. I mean, it
the
really is a
buildings.
Tron world. I mean,
Yeah.
when you go in there, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, check it
It's
out on
totally
YouTube.
Tron.
There's a lot of playthroughs on it and
Yeah.
stuff. And what I liked is when you throw your disc, if you click your mouse again, the disc comes right back to you, just
Right.
like it would in Tron. So
It's very
This is a-
intuitive the way it plays.
yeah, first person shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some strategy to it too. If you ricochet your disc off of a wall and it hits somebody, it's like twice the damage. So yeah, it was fun. I played through it like 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
So good times. Anyway, enough Tron talk.
Sorry, no,
Right,
back to
just-
Carrie. So I'm sorry,
they have-
you're missing the fact that you sold your Tron.
Yeah,
Was that the
that's quite
other-
right. Actually, it's a perfect segue because I thought it was interesting because I really like Fire Escape. Like I think it's a blast. I have way more fun playing Fire Escape than
So
Tron.
do I.
So no, yeah, right. Like it's an awesome game. And I think last week I'd mentioned about how a friend was over here with his 2 teenagers, and it was interesting because they'd never been to my arcade before. And the 3 games that they played, they were all things, all games with things as opposed to video games. They went for pinball, they went for Ringer, and they went for Fire Escape. And I thought it was interesting, right? Like that there's like of all these video games, and those are the things. Like Ringer, they were having fun with the 2-player games, playing with their dad, and then yeah, it was in Fire Escape with the ball.
Well,
You
it's
know,
completely different from most of the games out there. Even Fire Escape, I was amazed by it when I first saw it at Banning. And then I heard that Dave has more than a few. So I was like, wow.
Past tense.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you don't.
No, I
you
still
don't
have mine. It's
know-
sitting right over there, but I don't have the 45, which I had.
yeah.
you really don't come across those, not at all.
No, that's what everybody was like. Oh, you're gonna flood the market. I go, I'm gonna flood the market. How many have you ever even seen before those ones
I
came?
did one time, and I want one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I still like it. You know, it's funny we're talking about. Well, Jim's not here, but you know, I guess I've come full circle. Like I sold the Tron when I want it back. Not really, unless I had a huge space where I like the look of it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I have a Super Hangout back.
I kind of
That's
want
awesome.
one,
I
but
sold
they're so
that.
expensive.
And I missed having it. My kids kept asking, "Where's the motorcycle game?" And I'm like, you know what? I wanted. And then Donnie had one that he's like, "You want this?" I'm like, "Yes."
Did
I
you
go, "I
just do a
missed-"
trade, Carrie? Was it an even trade, a Tron for a fire escape?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish I had a fire escape to trade for a Tron.
Her fire escape was like you could eat off the floor. I spent a
Yeah.
lot of time on
Yeah, you did.
You were-
You're right,
I had
you're
you
right.
were really
mildew things in it, like to just to make. I wanted it to be because it's going to a girl.
Because I was going to say, because it was going to a girl. I know. I totally scored. You're like when Gat got his. You're like, what?
Fuck it.
I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Here, have some extra spider carcasses. And mine, it
Missing
was
some balls.
Well, that's a question I have for you guys. How do you part with a game? Every single time, you know, I think about even trading a game, or we've only traded one game, which was the R-Type. And I just feel like I shouldn't have. So, you know, coming from you guys have been collecting games for a while. I know some of you have regrets. I know some of you, you know, because you just.
I've never traded a game, so
I've
I've only sold a Mega Touch, so
Or two.
Okay, that's true.
yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is there more of a feeling like, oh, damn it, I shouldn't have traded that game? Because that's the biggest thing I have is that I don't want to trade anything. I kind of just want to.
It's always a big debate with myself about this, because I finally come to terms with that I would be okay making a trade deal for my Marble Madness for a Super Punch Out, but that was like this big, like this was going on for a long time. It was a big, but now that I've actually come to terms, I'm like, okay, I'd be okay with this. Now that's all I like. That's all I'm thinking about. Like, I'm totally like, I've already made that, like, I've already crossed that bridge where now it's like, oh, I'm totally cool with that. In fact, I had just yesterday, I realized somehow, so Facebook's fucking weird, by the way. When you get a message from someone you're not friends with, it shows up as a message request.
Yeah.
And somehow it like got buried in stuff.
Yes,
and
100%. Jim,
and
that
I
was
didn't
the
see
same problem I had. Yep.
And so a guy, one of the Minnesota collectors, did a message request or messaged me, and he's like, and this is like a week or two ago, and somehow I missed it. And he's like, hey, are you still looking to sell your Marble Madness? And so finally I responded like yesterday or the day before, and I was like, well, first and foremost, I more want to, or I want to essentially do a trade for a Super Punch Out. That's my priority. So if I was to put a price tag on it, I would, at this point, I would say, as Minnesota dudes, I would say 2,500 is and I didn't mention that I would throw in, another power coded control panel and stuff like that, but that's where I left it. So he's like, oh, thanks for getting back to me. I assume that price was probably out of his range or something, but it's like, it's so stupid how that works with Facebook. But that's just the thing. Like, I really don't want to just sell it, but if I do, I want it to at least be able to cover what Super Punch Outs are going for, because in my mind, like, looking at prices for like what these and those games command, it seems like it's pretty darn close to a straight up trade in today's.
If you got a nice Super Punch Out, I wouldn't get some piece of shit.
No, I wouldn't. You know what I've noticed is when
I want a fully working game that I almost have to don't do any, because my Marble Madness is restored.
Marble Madness is perfect, yeah. So
yeah,
you should get a nice Super Punch Out for that.
The only thing that's, I think I talked about this last week, but like, yeah, the only thing that's with it is that the CPO, the reproduction CPO that I put on that control panel around the bend has some cracking going on, and then there's a couple nicks on the vinyl just from moving it. But otherwise it's great. So I mean, I'm throwing in, I have a second control panel that's powder coated, ready to go. If they want to redo another one, they certainly can. But I mean,
so that thing's the same problem.
Yeah. Unless
but they could do it themselves.
Unless someone, I hear all this talk from this old game and stuff about how, hey, we got this new process that's supposed to do this and recreate that. The only ones that don't have the cracking around the bends are whatever fucking Atari did originally, and you can tell instantly when you go up to a game if it's an original or a reproduction. The smooth, the feel of the CPO, the thickness of it, the texture. It's like for instance, Grinkers, the Marble Madness. You go up to that one, you can tell it's original. It's original because it's like it's so smooth and it's thin. It's right against that control panel. Like the ones from Phoenix Arcade, like the one I have, it's a little bit thicker. It's a little more rugged and durable. It's nice for applying because even if there's a little imperfection, you're not gonna notice because it's so much thicker. But yeah, there is a difference.
We like them thick. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jim, when you were gone, I was telling about like how I got rid of the Super Hang-On and I got a different one back.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, because the kids kept talking. I'm like, you know what? I miss it too. And then when I did the trade with Donnie, he's like, hey, I got this too. I'm like, yes. The game that was one that I regret because
I was excited to get mine just because it's the profile small, but it's a great driving game and I like the handlebars and you have to have a racing game. Like everyone when I have parties and stuff, people like the people that even like I've talked about, people that aren't arcade people usually play maybe Miss Pac-Man. The next game in there is usually Super Hang-On because it's just a driving game. It's brainless. You're just driving, right?
Yeah, those are the ones with the different, like the shooting games, shooting, driving.
Yeah.
Just the ones with the different controllers are the ones.
It was funny.
You don't come across
That was actually Gabriella. That was actually my argument when I was debating with myself about getting rid of Marble Madness for Super Punch Out. Is that I'm going for a game that has trackballs to a joystick game again, but it isn't quite like playing in MAME and like all that stuff isn't. But I agree with you. I like looking across the games I have and being like, okay, half my games have unique controls.
It's a bit of a variety. Yeah. It's good. No, it really is good. My biggest thing, especially out here in LA, is that, I know of a few people that just go around and they buy arcades the cheapest that they can and then they piece them out. And it just, it just gets me really because to get the controllers, even working boards, and everything together, the monitors, just say you go ahead and piece it all out. And I have a Star Capsule up for sale, which I have a few of them, so that's the only reason why I'm selling it, because I have more than one. But usually it's really hard for me to try to pick which game I want to go ahead and get and try to sell to get something new in. But for me, it's just having a little bit of variety, like Carrie's game, The Ringer. How many times do you see it on the market, or even the Fire Escape?
I could hear Carrie mentioning which those three games you said: Ringer, Fire Escape, and your pins. And what immediately hit me was they're all mechanical games.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Was that it was interesting that of all the games, that's what people went for. That it was things where it's like
it's hands-on.
Yep.
And you're physically controlling something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, you really don't. I used to play a lot of first shooter games. I used to play a lot of Halo, and even before that, a lot of the different consoles before. But to come across some of the older arcades and just to get the feel of to play something different, to have something.
Well, think about this too. Like this day and age where everyone's got a smartphone, a tablet, a computer. They're all these screens. It's all screens. It's all monitors. You're essentially looking at. Then you have a game where it eliminates that. It's something completely different. I imagine that's super appealing, especially to newer generations. We're like, what the hell is this?
Maybe that's why pinball is starting to make a resurgence.
Yeah. You know what, Steve? My one of my younger cousins, she's probably at least 10 years younger than I am, and she moved. She's not too far from me, but she's joined a pinball league at Tilt. and she's
Wow.
always posting on Facebook about how much fun pinball is, and it just excites me. Like I can't wait to tell her, hey, look, I just got a Willy Wonka, because she just posted like, I love this game, and it was Willy Wonka the other day, and I'm like, I'm excited to get a pin. Maybe I'll have her over or whatever.
Finally,
Or bring it to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
When are you slated to get your Willy Wonka?
Not for a while.
No?
Well, because of the holidays are killer. So
Yeah, he has somebody to buy holiday presents for. So you just stop with all of this hurry and get your pinball talk.
Well, okay. If I just wanted to race out and get a standard or pro or whatever you want to call it, I could probably do early winter, but right now I'm planning on late winter. So like probably
wow.
like
But like
March-ish.
beginning of next year, like 2020.
Yeah, because I want to get because I don't want to really throw. I'll throw it in the chat, but I've got a fair amount saved, but
yeah.
I'm still leaning towards the LE of Wonka.
Really?
Yeah,
I love the fact that you're like saving up, and it's like this is like a major purchase for you. You just put it in the chat.
it
Like,
is.
Yeah.
that's a shitload of money.
It is, and you're almost there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Dude,
especially
that's
where
fucking amazing.
I've only ever saved I've never really saved for arcade games. It's like a deal pops up, here's a few $100s.
Yeah, no, it's different
whatever.
buying new in box.
Oh my god.
Carrie gets a friendship bracelet for Christmas.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah, it'd be a friendship, all right.
Well, what's funny is that like there are certain things where I've already kind of planned it out. Like it's so I'm putting in all this overtime. I do every year. I put in a bunch of overtime for the company's their year-end Christmas video. And this is a stressful time of the year for me, but normally in years past, and I can say years past because Carrie and I, it's 3 years now that we've been together. I've changed that into it's comp time usually that I do, because then it's time and a half, and it's basically vacation hours I can use for traveling. And this year I'm like, we have a bunch of civil trials coming up where I'm going to earn a lot of other overtime that I normally don't do. And so I'm like, okay, this is perfect, because all this overtime I'm earning for this video is going to go towards the pinball fund. And then my tax return is going towards pinball. So it's very possible that when I get my tax return, I'll be able to buy my pin.
Wow.
Whenever that is. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But, you can't anticipate, like surprises and unexpected emergencies and all that shit. So that's kind of what I'm like, but I'm getting there. I'm very close. It's very difficult, especially when people are like, oh, fuck that, don't buy new in box, just buy secondhand, home use only, and do that. And I'm like, no, I'm only getting one pin. I've never bought anything brand fucking new. So and so far Willy Wonka has won.
Well, it will break down a lot less, if at all, for a long
And I'm
time.
looking forward. There's so many fucking mods too. I love looking at mods. And the pin side's been getting better about the playfeud stuff. Apparently, like there's been 3 people that have posted recently on pin side saying they got a Willy Wonka from October with an October production date, that they fixed all the issues. So
yeah, and you're always going to have that stuff no matter what pin it is.
Fucking,
there's always,
I hate pin
especially
sides.
early ones. Yeah.
Yeah, if you wait out like the first couple of months ones, and then they
all the
moan.
shit gets figured out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Software
tweak it,
updates or hardware changes and playfield fixes. Thank God my Ghostbusters never ghosted. I mean,
You guys
Jesus.
know how to fix them if they go out?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you guys fix your pins if something happens, or do you always send it in?
Depends on it depends on what's wrong with them, but like mechanical stuff for sure. The electrical stuff, maybe.
I'm just making sure I don't have any pins, but
I know you guys got to fix that. Like, what is your and James like first pin gonna be?
I don't know. You know what? He was talking about. Don't even remember at this point, but it's going to be something. and that's the thing is that I know that they're, find them new, find them used. There's different price ranges for them. I don't know what the best one is. I want something rare that's not really on the market. So it's a combination of two. I kind of want to unbox something, just like Jimbo was saying.
Do you have a favorite right now, or like games you lean towards, or
no?
Is it like 90s stuff or new stuff, like New Stern, or?
I cannot say that I have a favorite. What's one that I just saw, and that was because Gleek put it on here. Gorgon.
Gorgar.
Yeah,
Gorgar.
Yeah.
That's an old school. That's
Gorg. We'll just abbreviate.
That's the first talking one.
Isn't a Gorg like a giant pimple? No, look at that Gorg. No.
Right.
Isn't that in Star Trek Insurrection? Worf had like a big pimple. And he's like, it's a gorge or something like that.
Oh God, what did he call it?
And then Data
Gorf?
like whispers into Picard's ear. He's like, pimple, sir. Oh well, it's hardly noticeable.
You can hardly notice it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gorge.
That was a weak movie,
Gorge?
but yeah, gorge. I think
sounds right.
Yeah.
Gorge.
Yeah. Gorge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something wrong with it? Were you in a fight or something? No, sir. It's
He's got
a
a giant one.
gorge.
It's like right in his nose
That's
too.
right. It's real pink too.
Yeah.
And oh my God, were you in a battle or something? No, sir. It is a gorge. Gorge. And then Data whispers in his ear, pimple, sir.
it's like a Klingon pimple because he just reached puberty.
It's
Which
something
is bizarre.
because everything's de-aging people or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The
Yeah,
rings
yeah, yeah.
around the planet or
That's right,
something are
yeah.
de-aging everyone. Yeah.
That was right. That was
Insurrection. Yeah. Sorry.
Everyone else is all like feeling like
What
young
the
and vibrant,
fuck?
and he's going
Yeah.
through puberty again.
I know.
What a fucking
like, how old
nightmare.
are you, Worf? Like 16? Yeah.
Oh God.
But, that's the thing is that I really don't know what to get, but obviously.
Well, if you want to buy a Ghostbusters,
and I can even unbox it.
Good seller, I can vouch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
it's a great game.
yeah.
If you can handle the music.
Yeah, the sound works.
And the sound
music works great.
so well. No, I'm kidding.
Gabrielle,
Especially
your
midnight.
microphone seems slightly off. It's hard. I'm having
Yeah, a lot
trouble.
of people are saying stuff.
Her mic is in her laptop, I think.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me take it off. That means I have to disconnect my headset.
Wait.
It just feels a little muffled.
She's
Yeah.
taking it off. Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't want you to think that we were ignoring you, so sometimes hard to hear.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, no.
Test.
So
Good
if you
gracious,
are-
ask Bodacious.
So back to your original question though, Gabby, while you're fixing your mic, if it's a Defender, it's actually really easy to sell. My last one I had for about 18 hours.
Oh, we lost Seabart. You said
Everybody
the
wants
secret
one.
word. You said the secret word Defender, and
Defender.
Seabart was just gone.
That's
Yeah.
right, because it had a green button and they were fucking beating down the door for it.
A Defender? No, I've got a Star Castle. I want an Oompa Loompa now.
Star Castle's great. Defender, not so much. Star Castle's a beautiful vector game, though. That's not.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
That's
I do.
Defender.
I like the
Yeah.
cinematonics on all the vector
Yeah,
games.
you're probably thinking Stargate
Star-
rather than sorry, what you meant rather than Star Castle.
Yeah, I know, but
What?
just go with what she said.
Okay, yeah.
Star penis.
Well, yeah, and actually, yeah, Star Castle. wins.
Starfruit.
Starfruit.
Starfruit. Wait, what?
What? What are we talking about?
I have no
Welcome
idea.
to Produce Hangout.
yeah.
Those are delicious.
Mm,
What? No.
Buzzkill.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, drinking some wine. Nice.
Me, yes, in my glass. Look at.
What kind of wine?
What does it say?
Well, I would expect
do
it's in a glass.
I do not spew.
Profanities.
I enunciate them
Sensu-
clearly from like a fucking lady.
Nice.
Oh,
God damn
nice.
right.
What am I drinking? Magnolia Grove, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh, nice. A
Yes.
cab.
Like
Are you mostly a red wine person, or do you like whites too?
I don't drink whites.
Yeah, me
Unless
either.
it's a, I mean, I've tried mimosa, or is that what it is?
I only drink white
Champagne
wine
and
during the
orange
Tour de
juice?
France.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's mimosa.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's how many times I've had it, like once, I
yeah.
think. No,
I don't like
the-
white much, except when I have to drink it. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like the hangover on that is just so bad. I don't even want to drink a white wine. No, I do. I like the taste of the red. I like the
Yeah.
kind of grape, like a Welch's grape juice almost.
that sounds almost too sweet for me. Yeah.
Right? No, I mean just the tartness, the tart,
Yeah.
the bitterness that comes with it. You know, I actually heard that there's a new wine that actually has marijuana infused in it, so it gets you high and drunk
What?
at the same time.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
No. All right, break that down.
Not
Tell
good.
me about the marijuana
By the way,
wine.
you the chat and I
You're
agree.
in
You sound better.
California. It's
Yeah,
called-
definitely much better.
Yeah, I took the headset off. I have this Bluetooth
Yeah, fuck that. That doesn't work.
garbage.
Yeah.
It smells.
It's just
We'll get you.
horrible.
We'll get you a fucking stupid. mic.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of those.
Bring in
No.
the goods.
Oh, I'm so
the
glad that my
bags.
local grocery store sells Never Twos for basically the regular price, like $3.99.
Three.
So I just picked up 2 because I was like, I really wanted like
What?
Tuesdays and Saturdays are my drinking nights, and so I deemed because I'm trying to be better.
Do you have to work the following day?
We all work
Yep.
tomorrow.
How do you do it? Let me ask you, professionals. How do you do it? I was so
Because we
drunk
have
last
to.
week. I know.
It's
A
Never
DUI
too
on the way to
hungovers.
work?
There's
Help.
a guy saying Caddyshack, I just do this for my health. And doctor told me to carry bags just a couple times a week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? Isn't that something
It's
like
like,
that?
why don't you get a real job? No, so you actually, my doctor told me I should go around caddying and carry heavy weights a few times a
that's
week.
right,
You know, what do you do back in Boys Town or whatever? He's like, yeah. Oh, I just watched that with my dad during over not last week and the weekend before when we were hunting, and that movie's fucking great. So
That's
good.
so cool. Did
Jack-
you get that VCR you
Jack
used?
Blick. Working while
No,
sober
we
is
had. I have the
overrated.
DVD, but yeah. Oh yeah, his fucking Rodney Dangerfield's fucking golf bag has like a
Classic.
built-in TV and like
what do
a
you got in
FM.
here? Yeah,
It's got a
fucking
keg in
radio.
here. Hey, what you got in here? Rocks? Are you kidding? When I was your age, I used to lug 50 pounds of ice up 5-6 flights of stairs. And he's like, so what? So what?
So what?
He opens up. Let's dance.
Party. Yeah.
It's fucking Journey. Anywhere you want. It's so- and the people dancing in that scene looks so ridiculous.
Terrible.
It's
So white.
damn funny.
That was so many white people dancing in that scene.
Yeah.
Sydney
And
Morgan
they're
was
just
hot
like,
in that movie.
She was. That's
she winks at the
And
camera.
she was in Tron, by the way.
Yeah.
also
It's
in
the
Tron.
theme.
After
Just
that
to bring it
movie.
back to
Tonight.
arcades. Nice.
Yeah,
After
right.
that
Nicely
movie.
done.
She went topless in that movie before.
Now, let's talk
Tron.
about Tron some more. No, it's...
People love or the Big Lebowski.
No, wait.
Yeah.
I love the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew. I'm gonna come over. We're gonna have a disc battle.
I know. We're gonna fight in the backyard
Yeah.
with frisbees like 8-year-olds. It's gonna be awesome.
Coincidentally,
Like,
so you want to talk about actors in Caddyshack that went on to other stuff?
$30
So Sydney
frisbee.
Morgan went on to Tron.
Tron.
The guy that played the guy that carried Rodney's golf bag that is like talking, the smart ass. He was also in Porky's, all the Porky's movies. He played
I love those.
Brian, the Jewish guy.
Oh, I only have the first one. I've seen all of them.
That's
I'm pretty
the
sure I've
best
seen all
one.
of them.
The
But I
first
have the
one is
first
the
one
best
on
First one's the best. Second
Mhm.
one's good up until the ending. The third one I've only seen like once.
What's the
It's
third
kind
one's
of-
premise?
It's
Number
about
Second one's like the
Porky.
revenge. Porky's Revenge, right? That's where they go back and they
No. Porky's Revenge is the third one. Second
the
one's
third one?
called
Okay.
The Next,
Next
Day.
day.
the next
Yeah.
day. All right, thank you.
Porky's Revenge is okay because I like that they brought Porky back and it's a little bit of a different premise, but it's like, yeah, the first one's the best. The second one's great, but the ending lingers. It's kind of like the end of Blazing Saddles where it goes on too long.
Too long.
I don't know about
And then,
Porky's. Everybody looks like they're 30 years old. They're all in high school.
Yeah,
So
I
they're
know.
probably not-
so does
Meat looks
so
like
does,
he's 30.
Meat. Yeah.
so does
That
every
kid's
other 80s
deformed.
movie. Yeah.
I always thought that too. Yeah.
But so does
29,
everyone else in
20,
every 80s
22.
movie,
I
though.
know.
They
Who's
got-
the teacher and who's the
Yeah.
kids?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
Grease. Rizzo looks like she's like 45.
Yeah.
But she's got a bun in the oven.
Okay.
yeah.
My
She
daughter and
also
I,
she was great in West Wing though as Bartlett's wife.
so my daughter and I started watching Greatest American Hero, or we watched the
Oh.
like. So there was there was like a
Yeah, the high school kids
marathon
definitely
going
look
on.
older
Oh,
than-
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and so there was a marathon, and we caught like episode 7. And
So does
I
she
was
know
like,
the show or
oh
never
no,
seen it
not at all.
before?
No,
Okay.
because she
love
was
her
like,
so
I was watching it because I was sitting here doing something, and it was like lunchtime or something. So she sat down and kind of got sucked in, probably because she had things that
So
she
what is
ought to
this
be doing.
show?
Yeah, and so then later on, I got on. I think it was Netflix. They had, or maybe it was Prime. They have the series on, and so we watched the episode 1, season 1. You know, the pilot,
Pilot.
the 2-hour pilot, which
Yes, yes.
felt 2 hours long. But it was
Yes,
so
it
funny
was
because it's like when she first sat down and watched it, she was like, she couldn't tell who was the teacher and who were the high school students because everybody was so freaking old.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Everybody's really old on that show.
Yeah.
Excuse me, teach. They're all doing this fake Brooklyn accent that's
Yeah.
horrible.
yeah. Oh, it was so bad.
What
And he
news
was-
is with some
Hey,
pipes?
teach.
yeah, and he was. I
Teaching your
didn't remember.
Pipes.
And he was walking around talking about, I'm a special ed teacher, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh no.
just
Yeah.
so painful, but so funny because it's. I was like, that was the one with the curly hair. That's the teacher.
That's the teacher. Yeah, the
And
curly, the
everybody
really
else is-
tight curly hair. Yeah.
Pippin.
The blonde. Yeah. He basically looks like he looks like a hobbit.
Yeah.
No, there's the play he did called Pippin.
Oh,
That's
yeah, sorry.
real popular. Yeah.
That show, I have such fond memories of that show, but it does not stand up.
Does not hold up.
I
And
still
we're
like
gonna.
it.
It
I'm
does.
not
It,
doing
I-
it either.
it's slated to be remade, and it would be a
Is
great
it?
movie to remake.
I think if they just threw it out and just
Wow.
went with the basic premise of what it is, which is like a dude who doesn't really know his superpowers and just
Well,
he gets
and then
this,
they made Shazam, which is so close to it.
it's
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
similar. Well, yeah, it's true. It's a kid
Shazam.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
how do I fly?
Yeah, it was-
You know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And
no,
how,
it truly
how
is,
long,
yeah.
like that joke could just, I mean, after a while, I remember, and I haven't seen it since it first aired. Like maybe I saw it in like summer reruns, but that was the first episode I've seen since the 80s.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was like, oh my God, this is so slow. And when it actually, the very opening scene was the black FBI agent getting chased by what looks like a bunch of skinheads.
Oh yeah.
And it was
yeah,
like-
I remember
like,
that.
This is fucking dark.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't
oh
they
my,
kill him? They shoot him or
Yeah,
something.
they kill him.
It's a bunch of hillbillies like chased them in like buggies, like
Yeah.
yeah, like these
off-road
yeah,
vehicles.
religious wing
Yeah,
nuts with the shaved heads.
totally.
And-
No,
Oh, it was.
they riddle
It's-
him.
starts pretty fucked
Yeah,
up.
it was. It was.
And
really
why has
dark.
he become an alien, which is weird? Or they just use his likeness so they don't
Mhm.
freak out or something?
Yeah, well,
that was
yeah,
the
'cause,
idea.
yeah, they
Yeah.
took they took his body and they found him
Yeah.
after he had been shot.
Yeah.
It was yeah, that was
That
was
part,
interesting.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Now,
Yeah.
did you on YouTube? There's that wasn't released on television, I don't believe, but it
The
was
heroine?
a pilot, the girl. Yeah. So the aliens take Ralph back up to the spaceship, and you get to see all the aliens. You get to see inside the spaceship. It's all on YouTube, and they're mad at him for telling the public that he's a superhero because he finally tells everybody, "Yeah, I'm a hero." So the aliens take his powers away, and they say they give him a different costume, for a female or whatever, and say, "Here, find a new hero." And then, it's up to him to find somebody to take over the suit. So then he finds this cute girl, and they put her in this costume, and she's got this cute little body. She's like, "Yay!" And now it's all over again, training a girl how to. It was supposed to be a
Oh,
spin-off
Lord.
pilot of the girl version of Greatest American Hero,
Yeah.
but it just didn't. Yeah, it
No,
didn't
that
fly.
sounds.
But it's on YouTube. It's good. It's kind of fun to watch just so you can see what they were trying to do with it.
Yeah.
And you get to see the aliens and the alien spaceship and all the kind of weird shit that you always want to see inside the ship and all that. But
Oh,
but
that's
yeah.
fun.
yeah,
Oh, I'll have to look that
fun.
up.
Yeah, it's
Well-
on YouTube. I'll look for it. I'll post it.
One of the funny moment when Taylor and I were watching that episode 7, like I'd missed the first part of it because I picked, like I was flipping through just for something to watch while I was eating lunch, and at the end of the show, the theme music comes on, but it's without the lyrics. It's just the musical
Oh yeah.
part of it. And it all came back. Like every single fucking lyric came back to me. And I'm like singing along.
You're singing along.
And
Totally.
yeah, Taylor's like,
well, it's a great song.
Yeah, it is a great song. And I remember it used to be on the radio, and I had the
Yep.
sheet music, and I played on the piano.
Oh, everybody
Oh,
did that,
shit.
Carrie. Yes, I
Right,
remember.
along with, and I had that and the theme to Arthur,
Oh yeah.
like both of
Arthur.
those on the piano.
I don't
Classic
have any of the
movie.
Arthur movies. That's a good point. I need to go back and get
That's
those
a
old.
really classic Arthur. They remade it.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did. Yeah, a handful of years ago.
Yeah, they
I
did.
did not see that one without.
It's
Yeah,
a British comedian, which I you know what, I like the older movies. I don't like the remakes too much.
Yeah,
But
no, I want the originals.
My wedding songs was the original
Right.
Arthur. Louis
was it?
or whatever. Yeah, it was.
Can you
the
sing it?
original.
What's the theme?
Negative.
yeah,
Come on.
please sing
But
it.
I do
Just
love
a few bars. Come on.
No, I love the classic drunk.
yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Obviously, I have a kid.
Why is that?
I don't know.
How about the Sunday morning cartoon? I am King Arthur, and we are the Knights of Justice. The Knights of the Round Table. Oh yeah, no, all right. It was a Sunday morning cartoon in the
I
90s.
actually liked Arthur too.
Early 90s.
Arthur 2 on the rocks.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
good
When he was working in the hardware store.
God.
Is that a drink?
Oh, it was great.
He was fucking hammered the entire show.
Oh, I
mean,
mean, we got the scratch off lottery tickets. He
Yeah.
goes, so if I win 20 more of these million, I'll be right back where I started.
Right where it started, yeah.
And he's doing the prayer. Thank God, this is my only. I have the smallest piece of meatloaf because they're making it. Oh, it was good.
I love those movies. I need to go back and watch those again.
Yeah.
As a modern day alcoholic, I need to go back and watch those alcoholic movies from my past.
There's like 3 movies in the
Professional.
theater right now I want to see, and I just I haven't had the time. Like
Yes, Dudley
That-
Moore. Thank you, Nick Rose.
I used to go see movies like every week, like through college and stuff, and now it's kind of like, well, I want to see that movie. Finally, there's one I want to see, and oh, when am I going to get around to, like, I've seen a lot of movies by myself, but at the same time, you get to that point where it's like, man, it's really a burden to block out 2 hours of my day.
Jim,
for-
what's
for
the
a movie.
best movie you've seen like in the last like 3 years in the theater? Let's go
3
last
years?
3 years.
Last 3
Like,
years.
whoa, this is a good.
Holy
this is a
shit!
really good
That's
movie.
I'd have to like look up what movies have come out because I'm gonna miss something.
Well, they're gonna
Um,
stand out to you. For me, I can say it was Ready Player One, just because I feel like that's what the future is going.
That's a
in.
great movie. Yeah.
I like Island Pirate doesn't. He says Jim doesn't watch movies because he's broke from Wonka saving.
No, he's all scary.
no. Let's see. Maybe. Well, recently, maybe It Chapter 1.
Oh, really? Wait,
Mine was
the
a Green
first
Book.
one or-
That
or the
ranks up there.
second
Green
one?
Book was excellent. And I saw it in the theater, and I go, "This."
No, I
is-
said Chapter 1. Yeah,
Kids one.
the kids one.
Wow.
I like Chapter 2
I'm-
as well, but
the
I
first
mean,
one.
but
I haven't seen 2 yet.
I mean,
I
I'm
gotta
trying to
watch
think
the
recently.
original one, maybe.
Look at figures flying off the shelves right now. Mandalorian.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I keep seeing that everywhere, especially with that new Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
the one movie everyone's talking about.
Well, it's a series. It's on.
Oh
Disney
wait,
Plus.
no, wait. I take it back. I take back my answer. Avengers Endgame.
It's better than the new Star Wars films.
Yeah, I've heard that. too.
I fucking love Endgame wins for me.
For me,
And I hate to cop out with a superhero movie, but that one
I know
wins.
you superhero that
it's
one out.
not- You know, I haven't even watched it yet because I'm still trying to watch all of them. And
Oh, you're
I
like
guess
Andrew. Took a while
I've
to catch up.
I've seen them all now. So I
Yeah,
caught
you
up.
have. You finally
Yeah.
caught up.
Well, no,
I had to get the flu and then fucking caught up on like the 6
And
movies
knock
I
'em
hadn't
out.
watched. Yeah, I had them all. I just hadn't watched them.
Some are
No.
better than others.
Some are better than others.
You know, and that's what I wanted to ask you guys is what order did you guys watch them all in?
Oh,
As
I
they
can
come
send
out.
I can send you the list. No, there's actually a
Yeah.
better
Well,
way to
there-
watch
there's a
versus that.
few-
Really?
That's what I was
There
going to
is.
say. Yes, because I
a
didn't watch
chronological.
it before. I had asked Carrie on the IRC how to watch them, but if you search it online, there's different ways to watch
Yeah.
it. You can watch it as they come out.
You can 100%. Yeah, and that's
Or
a fine way to watch it. You,
watch them in chronological order as the time era. Like
Yep.
what is it? Captain Marvel comes out
Captain
way
America. So you start seeing Captain America, the first
Yeah, that's the
Avenger. That's the first
one.
movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it's the
But
oldest.
it's all in also
But
the
not-
sequence of, the era that they were filmed in.
Yeah.
So that's, I just wanted the story to get played out in accordance to all, everything that's showing in the movies. And that's the thing, is that I don't want to watch something and then have a character come in that I don't even know who that character is.
Right.
Because I haven't watched all of them. Like
So-
Captain Marvel, I had no idea about her until I went online and
because they stuffed her in at the end.
Yes, but when you watch it, she's not, a 2000s era. She's more of a earlier time. Like what is she, late 80s, early 90s? That's what she is.
She doesn't age anymore, I guess, because
Right.
of her
She's
power.
done, yeah.
Yeah.
I need that power.
We're all working on that power.
Yeah.
So I think you could totally watch it in the order that they were released, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you'll get the experience that everyone got in the theaters. So there's nothing wrong with that. However, I do like the remixed version of the chronological order that starts with Captain America, the First Avenger, and then goes through all the movies in a chronological order. It makes
the
it
time
fun.
era that they're all filmed in.
Yep.
Is that the
Yep.
one? Because there are
That's
there
the
are
most
a few
fun for
different-
me to watch.
Okay, there are a few different ones. You can watch them all in the time frame that they were in, or you can even watch them in a different sequence. There's a few there's like 3 or 4 different ones you can watch it in.
Yep. And there's none of them are wrong. But at the end of the day, you watch all the movies. So
I'm
it's
not
just
even
someone else's take on how you should watch them. I mean, if you want to just be safe, you could watch them in the release order. The release order is totally fine. Again, that's the way the rest of the world saw it.
I know.
Everything. If you don't watch them in release order, then you're watching them in someone else's fun order.
No, really.
No, the Star Wars.
It's like the Dragon Slayer redone, where they put everything in different order.
Well, and this is a big debate question I do have. Do
The
you watch
correct order
Star-
is the release
I was trying
order.
to trigger Mock to talk about
it's the
Dragon
same
Slayer.
thing.
No, yeah.
I know. We'll get there in a second.
It's the same thing as Star Wars. Do you watch the original 3 movies that came out in the 80s, or do you watch the newer ones, which I'm sorry, I don't like.
You don't watch those at all.
You ignore you ignor the prequels. You start with Star Wars: A New Hope, Chapter
But
4.
it comes out
Unspecialized editions.
Unspecialized. Actually, I noticed that you were watching those, Mock. Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, I'm having problems jumping ahead on the New Hope for some reason.
Right.
Everything else playing okay.
I
But
can't
yeah, I
get
was trying to
into
watch
the
them.
new ones.
I saw you were doing that.
Originals.
So the prequels, you can skip those. I still watch them. I actually hate them in a lot of ways.
I've never watched them. I watched the first one by accident, and I just, to me, I love the fact that the graphics in the original ones, I'm still amazed as how good they were for the time, and everything's so
77 to 83.
CGI. I don't like CGI. I don't like the way that they're all made now. It's just so disappointed. I just feel like the earlier ones.
The
are
human
more-
eye is an amazing thing, and we can pick out that shit.
Yeah.
So it
It
doesn't
stands
matter how
out.
far technology.
It's weird.
comes along.
It's like the screen has a finger and it reaches out and it pokes you in the eye every time they fuck up. And we all
Yeah.
recognize that stuff, whether or not we acknowledge it or not. But there's an experience where it's like, it's like there's
That
something
isn't
not
actually in
quite
front of the
fucking right.
camera. Yeah.
Yeah, about it, and that distracts us. It takes us out of that experience of watching a film and
Mhm.
brings us back into the movie theater where we're like hearing people eating popcorn and sucking on fucking straws.
Well,
that's why I
like
don't go
to
to
relate to
theaters
this,
when
I just
there's
posted
events
in the chat, but a couple weeks ago, I introduced my dad. He's never seen The Last Starfighter. And so we watched it together, and I was telling
What
him,
do you
okay,
think?
well, when I go into this in space and stuff, and I was like, okay, the computer graphics.
This is like
they're
first
they're
gen
dated.
CGI.
Right
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
Tron. That's the
And,
next
is
my
like
dad,
early
my dad said
3D
something
gen.
that I was not expecting. He's like, "Oh, that doesn't matter as long as the story's good." And he enjoyed
Right?
the movie. He
Yeah.
enjoyed the movie
Right?
thoroughly.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely loved it. He's like, "This is great." And I like that they have that's all about an arcade. You know, I explained it before we watched it. I explained the premise. I'm like, well, a kid plays an arcade game in a little trailer park, and it turns out to be a test, and he, you know, whatever. And
Right, and this is
like
the dream of every
84.
high score person. Like, Jim, how would you like to find out there's actually a real world of eyes?
Right.
And now you have to survive.
The eyes thing, but yeah.
But I
you
mean,
have to travel back in time to the Wild West to protect Buster.
You'll make it.
Yeah. Good luck, Cheyenne.
Yeah,
you're our champion.
Yeah, there's gonna be ghosts and shit trying to kill this guy that sucks at shooting. Yeah. So
Bishop of battle.
in my top 10, actually, in my top 10 video,
where's the
for
Bloomin'
kids,
Onion? Oh wait,
kids movies of the 1980s that I did. I mentioned Last
That's
Starfighter.
Outback
It's either in
Steakhouse.
there or it's in top 10 family movies of the 80s that I did. One of my YouTube videos where I talk about Last Starfighter, and I use that analogy. I'm like, can you imagine if you're a fucking kid playing Super Mario Brothers and you beat the game and fucking Mario himself shows up? He's like, we need your help to go rescue.
Actually, it turns
rings.
out, out there's actually a real universe of fucking mushrooms and turtles,
No,
and we need your fucking help.
And I'm like, in the video, I'm like, it's every kid's fucking dream.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, playing this game gave my life purpose.
Right.
You just wrote a better script than the actual Super Mario
It's
Brothers
true.
movie.
You did.
John.
Explorers is on. Oh wait,
I watched an interview with John Lizarogmo. Was that how you say his last name? I can never say his last name.
YouTube. Serious ever since
John L.
that movie
Yeah.
He talked about
John
how
L.
every single day at the end of shooting, he would go into the trailer with his co-star. Who's the guy from Roger Rabbit? What's that guy's name? I forget. Anyway, they go into his trailer and they would get hammered and just drink.
Please. Yeah.
That's what it took to get through filming.
Just to get through that movie. They both knew it was a turd.
It's pretty good. I like it. I can say I
You
do
probably
like
have nostalgic goggles on it because it's.
Yeah, I did. I was coming from it.
The rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. We all have like I know that there's flaws in Tron, but we look through our
there's flaws and everything.
Goggles.
Right.
The original Tron, absolutely amazing. It was very nostalgic for me. It was one of those time period movies where it caught your attention and you were just sucked into it.
I remember watching it as a kid, but then as an adult, I was like, wow, there's a lot of religious
tones
to
They
this.
touch on it a little bit.
Even the users and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I felt a lot of that was missing in I felt a lot of that was actually part of my argument that we've talked about we've had this conversation like 18
There's nothing
times.
wrong. We're coming up on episode 200. Just keep rehashing.
Well, with Legacy, that was my little quarrel, is that the users didn't have as much of a goddish power as they did in
the sequel. True.
In the sequel. There's the one scene where Flynn shows up at the club, but and then at the very end, but like it wasn't as crazy as in the original. And I guess there's the argument maybe you can make that this version of the grid was meant for both users, and it was meant for to live together as users and programs, but
well, supposedly there's like stuff that was in the script that wasn't ever even shot, that where they show Flynn create stuff. So like when he's at home, he's able to create like food. He just puts his hands on the floor and brings them up. The only time you really see it when he creates Clue.
He creates Clue.
But no, he can actually create food. He can create a chair. He can create anything he wants. So that's kind of showing user power, but it was kind of
And obviously Sam doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
No.
He's brand new in the universe.
Yeah. I mean, notice they're eating a big pig on the table. I'm sure they had something in the script where they
drinking blue martinis.
Yeah, blue martinis or whatever.
Yeah,
it was a blue milk from Star Wars.
Blue milk. Yeah. Squeezed freshly from one of the tits.
One of those horrible fucking tits. That's green milk.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right. That's organic. The blue stuff is not organic.
The blue stuff is pasteurized.
The blue stuff is GMO.
Blue stuff is pasteurized, non-GMO.
Just don't drink it at Disneyland. Everyone tells me how
Definitely
awful
not
it is.
organic. Okay, no.
It's like,
wait, it doesn't come out.
Speaking of that, I need another drink. I've had two-man hands, so I'm
So,
not having another one.
I want to bring up, Steve, speaking of nostalgia, I have to bring up something I found on Netflix. Do you remember that show we talked about before, The Toys That Make Us?
Yes.
Yes.
So
They
they
just
have
brought
a
out a brand new
season. New season.
Wait, we gotta wait for Jim because
and he'll be part of that.
Yeah, because the only episode of that I've watched so far, Jim might actually.
I just sold some vintage toys at a.
What did you sell?
He-Man. My brothers.
That's a good episode.
But it was a weird exchange. I've never sold anything.
What were the He-Man you sold?
I sold about 25 figures. A Castle Grayskull that was in pieces. A Fright Zone with the snake, which the guy says is always missing.
Yep.
And
because he moves, right? It's like a separate piece, right?
It's like a rubber thing that you put in. And then my brother had put like Kleenex in it to hold its shape, and then bubble wrapped everything. And then it had the box. I had the box for Fright Zone and the box for so I had the box for Fright Zone. I had the box for Snake Mountain.
Yep.
Grayskull was my kid played with it for a second.
Was Fright Zone was that the one that was like the
had a microphone,
the
didn't it?
She-Ra thing?
I don't know what the Fright. I wasn't. I had the Fright Zone
with the slime pit,
and then Grayskull. But Fright Zone, the whole there was like a rubber snake.
Fright Zone,
like a puppet you'd put your hand in. And
it was like a snake.
Yep. The guy was impressed. He goes, "Whoa, this is always missing." And my brother had Kleenex in to hold the shape. He goes, "Wow, and who bubble wrapped it? Like, who did this?" I'm like, "My brother."
Nice.
He goes, "You want it?" I go, "No." So I had that. I had the Fright Zone, the Snake Mountain, and the Grayskull, and then about like 25 figures.
Whoa.
Or maybe
25 figures. Holy
maybe
20
shit,
figures.
But
You were like a He-Man fan, dude.
No, that was my brother. It wasn't me. That was my brother.
Oh.
It's all my brother.
You have some swords, or are they all lost?
Yeah. There was some loose stuff, and then there was about maybe 8, 9 Thundercat stuff in there. And he's like,
I love Thundercat.
he goes, most of them. It's the guy at the toy store, that 80s toy shop in Buffalo, New York, great store. And then he goes, well, he's my age. Yes, the later seasons are more rare, but he's like me. We stopped collecting. We got the. So I'm like, I didn't know how much this stuff. I quickly looked on eBay, Fright Zones, whatever. But we did have the boxes. So he's like, well, how much you looking? I go, I don't want money. Well, I already told. I just want trade. I was with my kids. I go, we'll pick some other stuff out. They thought it was neat. So I'm like, he goes, will you give me a number? I'll write down a number. He was adding everything up, and then if you're way off, then when we negotiate, or if I'm light, I'll give you 50% more. So I said, he goes, well, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know, 100.
I want a hamburger. No,
and then he goes, I'll give you 150, and he wrote down 200.
Wow.
So I was like, hey, I'm fine with 150 credit. Then both kids, I'm like, you guys can each have $75. And I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I should be taking $50. They got some cool shit in here. I mean, really cool old shit, like Buck Rogers stuff, like stuff crazy. But we did find some other figures that wasn't included. But you know what, my son, he got 2 wrestling figures for $15. I said, we'll come back. My daughter wanted, it was like a modern version. It was from Hoth. It was Luke Skywalker, like a 12-inch.
Oh shit! Yeah.
With the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I go, Casey, you've never even seen it. But I go, granted, that is fucking cool. I go, and then he wanted 35. I go, how about 30? So we walked away with the Star Wars figure. I still have 105 credit plus other stuff. But I'm like,
man, you cool. Like do a video walk through this place and
it's really, I will, dude. It's really cool.
Fun.
That sounds amazing.
And I'm like, shit, I want the Fats from Showbiz. They got a Fats animal that's down under there. Fats, the guy who was doing they had like a stuffed animal. I think he wanted.
Wait, Fats from like a Rock of Fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! Fucking buy that. Yeah, buy that right now.
But
how much is it?
$75. But I go, I should have
$75.
Don't buy that right now.
Does it move?
No.
It better fucking move.
Batteries.
Oh God, $75. God,
yeah, but I could have got it for
nothing. So rare.
I still have
so rare.
Guys, we're
gonna got a C-Ross.
We're gonna go C-Ross.
Nice.
Oh, Princess of Power.
This is a power.
I also have this one.
Show you the other.
Are you sure you're ready to reveal your secret identity?
Wait, put that on.
That looks like a merkin.
That's a merkin.
Wait, that's not where it goes.
No, it looks like a fanny pack. Oh my God, you're revealing your secret identity to everyone.
Remember that cartoon I had where it says He-Man, he shaves his loincloth?
I know. Look at that 70s bush right there.
You could braid it.
Dude, I can't believe you have the She-Ra fucking.
Were you guys talking about
awesome.
the new toys that made us?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, so I watched the.
I've seen them all already.
The Teenage
there's
Mutant Ninja
new
Turtles
ones.
episode. Okay,
Yeah, all
there's
4
new-
of them.
All right.
I saw
New
them
season.
all.
So
The
I just
Turtles
watched the
one.
the
wrestling
Turtles
one last
one
night.
was so good because they went
So
into the
good.
comic stuff.
And they had Aceman and Laird on
yes,
it. That was
and they brought them
fucking
back
amazing.
together again. How
Yeah, I know.
sweet
For
is
a
that?
group hug, that was fucking.
Oh, I almost
amazing.
cried.
I didn't know the whole I knew of the comic story and why they all had red bandanas and stuff early on,
See,
but I didn't know like how I
knew
never
that,
knew
yeah.
how it started. Like actually
I didn't
how
know
it
why
began.
they got into a big fight and the big.
I didn't know about
Yeah.
the fight, but I was following that comic since way before the fucking cartoon. And actually,
Yeah.
Steve, you'll find because of
Oh
that,
yeah.
Toys That Made Us.
Yeah.
I have the first 5 episodes, the original limited edition special episodes of Turtles now on Plex.
Special editions Turtles.
So the first 5 episodes they were doing to promote the toys.
Yeah.
The first 5 episodes of the cartoon.
Oh,
I don't give a shit about the rest of them because, like, honestly,
Yeah.
like it gets stupid.
Okay.
me
Well, see,
after
I came
episode
on to like I'm a generation after you guys where I grew up with Turtles the animated series when the cartoon came out.
Yep.
Now the first
87,
time the first time I was introduced to the fact that
How old are you, Jimbo?
I would be going on 5.
Yeah.
So I remember going to the whatever Premiere Video or whatever video rental store when they first started renting Nintendo games, and I remember renting actually they had a Play Choice 10 in the same rental store that had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on there. It was Turtles, Contra, and Fester's Quest. And then I had terrible game. And then I rented
Worst game.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I remember looking at the cover art, and all the turtles had red bandanas. I'm like, this is wrong. They fucked this up.
That's the comic.
See, I didn't know that. That was my first introduction.
It was so
to
neat on that show to talk about the differences and why they changed things, or seeing the early drawings was amazing to see. Like, Bebop and
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, yeah, that was neat to see the first version where he's really mean looking and big. And so anyway, the most amazing thing about that I thought was when they talked about Chuck, I think his name's Chuck Lorre, who was a guy who is really popular in television land. He created shows like Sybil, Dharma and Greg, 2.5 Men. Right now he's working on The Big Bang Theory. That's his baby. He writes for that show. But earlier in his career, he wrote music, and he wrote the theme song, the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja show.
Oh, and he does all the voices in it.
Yeah, he goes. Hey,
I love that he does the voices.
trip.
Dude, I didn't know that. I learned that from that fucking show. It's like he does all the voices in that fucking intro.
And he did that so each turtle has its own identity, which is so
goofy
cool.
as fuck. But yeah.
Yeah, to show like I got a tech guy, a party dude, and a a leader, and I thought that was neat that how they like. It's not just one turtle and they're all the same. They each have their own identity and stuff.
Well,
and
which they all did in the comic, but yeah,
it was a really good program to because it didn't just talk about the toys; it talked about origin and everything. Yeah,
super into it.
All 4 of those episodes are amazing.
It goes super deep. It goes like into the origins of the comic. They show a ton of the comic stuff, which I fucking love.
And the creators.
That's a ton of Eastman and Laird. So Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Kevin Eastman always my favorite artist of the two of them. He always did the shit a lot more gritty.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter Laird's stuff was a little bit more bubbly and happy. So I always loved the Eastman stuff. Yeah,
I was shocked that they even kept my interest throughout My Little Pony.
I haven't watched that
yet.
Yeah, the only one that I watched
was maybe the weakest one, but
How about their fight? Why they broke up? Why they broke up was over the female
turtle, which I didn't even know about.
Yeah, it was pushed onto them for the dumb live action thing,
which I never saw any of that stuff.
Remember when they combined with Power Rangers?
Yeah, that's right.
The Power Rangers episode is really good too.
Is it?
So-
I haven't
yeah.
seen
But
it.
I don't have any love for Power Rangers.
I
It was
do.
after
I
my
remember when it first came out. I remember running home from school.
I don't have any love for My Little Pony, but that was an interesting episode.
dude. All right, Jim.
Carrie,
go
do you
ahead.
have My Little Pony?
Jim, go ahead and come out as a brony. It's cool, man.
And I didn't have
It's a
any
new world,
I didn't have any love for the wrestling stuff either, but that episode I would say those are good bookends. The Turtles and the wrestling I think are good bookends to the 4 episodes.
To the bronies and the Power Rangers, right?
Oh my god, that was the fucking weirdest thing, like hearing anyways, you guys will watch the episode.
Yeah,
I'll
get around to it.
show. I'm glad they brought it back. I wasn't sure if that series was going to come back again.
Well, I like
wish
how they
there was more
changed the
episodes.
intro song too to say like, because like the first intro song was like it's an 8-part mini series about the toys we all love, and this one was like it's a continuing series about the toys we all love.
What I liked
changed
about
it because they're like clearly like they broke.
What was the most
It
interesting
was too
about
good.
the Power Rangers episode is when they talk about it's an interaction between the American people and the Japanese people because
Right.
you know that story with the show, and so hearing them talk about their shows and how the agreements they made, that shit's interesting.
How about when they interview Vanilla Ice and they
That was
they interviewed
hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
they interviewed him for
Yeah.
probably an hour and they only had him say like 2 things on the
Yeah.
It was like 6 seconds. He's like, "Oh, you did the song for the movie. That's awesome, dude."
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know they interviewed him longer than that.
I have to admit the production value is amazing. Like they you can tell
It's a
like
Brony
I'm sure
documentary. Sorry.
I mean you can
Nick
tell
Rose.
like how much time they spent setting things up to get these interviews. The production value is really high. It's really well done. Sometimes I get annoyed by the narrator, but it is what it is. But they definitely invested the time. I mean, there's no reason why this takes so much time to do. Documentaries take way more time than any other style of narrative or movie that there is, because you shoot so much stuff and then now you have to make a story out
Gotta
of
cut it
like
down
hours
and
and hours and
make a story out
hours.
of it,
Yeah.
Right.
And make it still interesting and not be
Interesting,
bored.
Yeah. Yep.
'Cause
And carry a story. Yeah.
there's some documentaries out there that are just they're just so poorly put together.
No, I've seen some weird documentaries that have nothing to do with the arcade. So I don't
No, there's one out there that it's all about the Area 51 guy who used to work there.
Oh no,
and how he stole technology and shit. And it's
Wait
the
a
worst
minute.
documentary, but
dude, the Bob Lazar. Are you fucking talking about
yes,
Bob Lazar?
yes, that documentary that just came out on
That
him.
shit is fucking amazing.
It is, but
All
the
right.
documentary is not good.
The documentary is not. The documentary is not good.
It could be
because
better.
It's there's a bunch of segues in there that like turns it into this like, oh, it's like a hippie thing, or like, oh my god, the space and it's stars.
They keep cutting away to
However,
a guy talking.
no, fuck all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah,
so like
that's
read
dumb.
between the lines and
no,
like,
it's a good. All the content.
if
is
you
great.
look at like the shit that Bob Lazar says, and this is a totally off topic.
I know, but it's a good
But-
documentary
but-
to see that stuff. Yeah,
There's actually an amazing interview with Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan.
it's better than the documentary.
which is better.
You crazy?
Yes,
Which is better than the documentary, and I think
Better
you should watch
details.
them both.
Rogan, you crazy.
it fills in the gaps.
All right, so like I am totally in the camp of like I don't fucking believe this shit is real, but like Bob
I do.
Lazar is the first person I've ever heard talk about this shit where I go, holy fuck, that's the most plausible fucking story of this shit happening that I've ever heard.
His details are too
It's
perfect.
intense.
Yeah,
It's
to not
intense,
be
and
real.
he's a physicist. There's no
No.
question. He was at fucking
Area 51.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, there's no question that he was at Los Alamos.
You guys need
He
to-
was 100% at Los Alamos.
What, Gabriella?
You guys need to dabble a little bit in a quantum physics. That's
I love quantum physics.
No, my tiny little pea brain can't handle that.
My middle name is string theory.
String bean.
so you've seen Einstein's theory or the latest theory that was just I don't even
Wait,
want
did Einstein just put out a new theory? I missed that.
No. I no Einstein's last theory that he came up with and what he was fighting for before he passed away, and that was the one thing that he was pushing for is his theory, which I don't even want to get into right now.
All right, no, you're right. It's penis.
Penis theory.
It has nothing to do with arcade, but
String theory.
yeah, no,
Hi,
it's a
I'm
lot.
Polly the penis, and I just love that.
And that's why I said
I know.
go and dabble into quantum physics. Anybody, go ahead and do it.
Quantum.
Penis.
As a hobby, I love that fucking shit.
Oh, it's so,
As a thing,
not even
Bob
as a
Lazar is the most credible fucking person I've ever heard talk about aliens in my life, and I fucking am fascinated by the idea that might be real.
Because for people that don't know what we're talking about, a real quick,
they probably don't.
quick version of this is that he was a scientist who was loved to do experiments in his garage.
He was a physicist.
He got grabbed by the government to try to reverse engineer some alien technology that they had.
He worked at Los Alamos National Labs. He
they're
was
all
a proper physicist
each other.
Uh,
employed by the government.
Yes.
Who was verified.
Now
Even though the government denies this shit.
Yeah, they'll deny all that stuff.
And MIT, who he also went to MIT, they deny he went there, but like,
well, they've
that's
erased his
bullshit.
records. That's why.
So there's some conspiracy shit here, but
Yeah,
either
no, I
way,
believe all that.
he used to work at
Now,
Los
why did he
Alamos.
get the job, Andrew? Did you hear about that part? Why he got
So-
the job there?
No,
The specifics behind why he got the job?
Why
I
he
mean,
got
like-
the job with
Why-
Area
why did he
51? That
All right, so yeah, all right, so that was the not Area 51, but it was the area near it. It was like the
well, it's right
But
next
basically
to it.
what's
It's in the
now
mountain.
known as
It's in the
Area
mountain of
51.
Area 51. It's
Yeah.
Area 51.
and grabbing the balloon.
They have a hollowed out mountain. And these doors open up that look like
Right.
the mountain, and the whole labs inside there.
Yeah.
It's like war games.
So
With 7 spaceships.
sort of, but War Games is based on NORAD. That's different. NORAD is in Colorado Springs. That's a
There's
real
7
fucking
spaceships
place.
inside there or
But
something, right?
apparently, in this place, there are spaceships which are saucer style ships which use gravitational forces to move.
Mhm.
They actually flew some. Of
They
these
can fly
fucking
them around and
things,
shit too.
Apparently,
They just can't reverse engineer them.
but
Now,
they're
the
trying to
reason
work
why-
on reverse engineering them.
The reason
It's
why
right
Bob
out
got
of
the
fucking
job there.
Independence Day.
This is the best part, though. This is the
No, it's better than that. But
punchline.
that's the fucking yeah.
Wait, let
cinema
me get to the
version.
punchline of why he got the job there. The scientists before him, all the scientists work in tandem, twos, and they're not allowed to talk to other scientists.
Which is
You're only
standard
allowed to talk
secrets,
to yourself.
which is standard high security.
Because they keep everything information.
You do that
secure.
shit compartmentalized.
That's normal. Okay, Get this. So one of the scientists needed another scientist because one of the scientists was forced by the government to try to figure it out. Figure this out. How do we reverse engineer this? So what he did is he took a plasma laser and he cut through the device that they were trying to reverse engineer, and it blew up and he died. So they brought in.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
All right. So
that's
either
crazy
way,
shit.
like this is some amazing fucking like. Here's a bunch of science fiction shit that we read in comic books and we see in movies all the time.
All these theories, what you guys are talking about, it's all tied in. You can go and look into the Denver.
They wanted me to build them a bomb, so I took their plutonium and in turn gave them a shiny bomb casing full of used pinball machine parts.
all of
Kind
the
of.
images that are there at the Denver airport and how there's an underground base located there and how there's a lot of different things that go into it and Freemasons and all kinds of stuff. So
I know, but there's so much.
people can go in there and take a look at it. And
But
it's-
there's so much nonsense that goes around that like goes into like these weird conspiracy theories. Like I want to believe in conspiracy theories, but like
I want to go
I
there.
just don't because like at the end of the day, like they're so fucking absurd that like no one actually has any.
No one
real
landed on the
stuff.
moon.
Right? That shit's bullshit. All that shit was done in a fucking studio in Burbank. Everyone knows that shit.
Yeah.
So how he got kicked
But, like-
out of Area 51 though is
But the thing about the Bob Lazar is that he's the first credible person who I've ever heard speak about this shit. Where I was like, the record skips and I go, wait,
during
what?
the documentary, his place gets raided
What?
by the government.
Like it's this,
the government.
He's the
raids
first
his
person where I was like,
place.
this was like, this shit could be fucking real.
He claims he stole some like special.
Oh
like,
yeah, that was
alien
like an
fuel or
element
something.
Fizzy lifting drink?
or
Yeah,
whatever
he
it is.
stole
Yeah.
some alien fuel, and like
Yeah,
the
so
government
they
wants it
believe he
back.
still has it.
So anytime he talks to anybody about the aliens, he gets raided because he's bugged everywhere. That's
Right,
why.
but his
How many times has he been raided?
Oh, a
In the
bunch.
pooper?
But his attitude about it too is amazing because he's like, I don't fucking want to do this shit. Like that documentary was
He
like,
didn't even want to talk.
I
in
don't
the
want to be
documentary.
part of this. This is like
No.
crap. Basically, all I'm doing is bringing down the thunder on myself again.
And he did. And he did.
But he's still so passionate about the truth that
He's been
wants
shot
to get
at.
it out there.
You know, he was driving on the freeway and someone shot
they
out
took
his
the-
tires.
They took out his tires. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to kill him, but make it look like an accident, you know,
Right.
and that kind of shit.
So
So
it's just
Gonna-
that it's finally, this is actually a plausible story, which doesn't sound like total bullshit and doesn't sound like a bunch of hippies in the deserts like smoking too much peyote and eating too many fucking crystals of power or whatever they do.
So how he got
Like this
fired
sounds
from
plausible. He's
Area
like a
51.
fucking smart guy who's
How
like
did he get fired?
You
remember?
I remember him going public about some shit because he was still working there during
Before
the
that.
Went to work without any pants.
So get this. He was so infatuated with trying to figure out how to reverse engineer the engine. He even got to go outside and watch people fly the ship.
They
out.
flew him apparently.
Yeah, he
like
got to go out
fucking
and watch them
drones.
fly it.
Yeah.
Hover it and fly it around.
Yep.
But they couldn't reverse engineer to figure out how it works. And that's what his job was with this
Yeah.
guy. With his
Propulsion was his.
So get this.
Propulsion
he was
was
at the
his thing.
lab every chance
No.
he could. And his wife thought he was cheating on her because he was never home. He was always working.
And his
trying to figure
pooper
this
was
out.
wrecked every day.
So she got jealous and started having an affair on him.
My alien.
She started fucking guys behind his back. And get this, the government is tapping everybody, like tapping your significant other. The
Tap
government
that.
knew
To make sure, yeah.
that his wife was cheating on him. And they went to him and said, you need to go back home
Oh, yeah, I
and
remember
spend
that.
some time with your wife.
Because
Trying to get
she's-
him, because they want shit stable. They don't want unstable shit.
Right.
So
No one wants an
he was
unstable
scared
shit.
that he was going to lose his
It's
job.
unpredictable, and you never know when it's going to come out.
It's usually wet.
So wait, let me finish real quick.
You get
So
the
he goes
splashback.
back
I know.
home.
Steve,
He
I'm
tries-
on board with you.
He's trying to fix his relationship. He tells his friends, hey, on Wednesdays, it's Wednesdays when they fly the ships because there's not a
Yeah.
lot of
Oh,
people
that's right, they brought
driving
a
on the
bunch of people out,
roads
yeah.
by Area 51 over there. He goes, Wednesdays is when they fly. Come out there. So he took like 3 friends out to this like berm that's like, I don't know, a few miles from where you can, it's up high so you can look down on Area 51. And they would sit out there and at night and they would watch the ship fly around. Zzz, zzz, zzz,
And they get multiple, apparently. Yeah.
all the time. And he took multiple friends.
Yeah.
And the way he got caught is he got sloppy. They started doing a barbecue out there. Hey, who wants hot dogs? I got hamburgers.
Right.
No, a
And then-
cheeseburger.
And then they all of a sudden had a spotlight on them, and there was
Polish for me.
all people around them with guns and lights. Like he's like, oh shit. They arrested everybody. I could totally see that happening, right?
100%, dude. Like this is again, this is the first story that I've ever heard that's actually plausible. Like all the other stories about aliens.
Uh-oh, you better play Ghostbusters.
We I know it's fucking asking me for a minute.
Because there's
It's no, I got another hour. I should. By the way, I've run my games all night tonight. No
Anyway,
one said
after that
shit
happened, he
about
was
the
fired.
fact
I
that I
am
ran my
impressed.
games all night tonight. By the
He was
way.
fired after that. So that's the end of the
saying.
story. We won't talk about
And
that.
they're all
Balls.
still running. I don't see.
No,
anything
you
breaking
know what?
down.
Now you have to play every game to
I'm
make sure it
rolling
all
the dice.
works.
I'll do that after the show.
Anyway, the Bob Lazar documentary is on. I think
It's
on
fucking
Prime
amazing.
or
And actually,
something.
yeah. So
It's,
as Mark
it's worth
said,
a watch if you're interested in UFOs.
and I would say watch. I would say watch or listen to the Joe Rogan before.
Oh,
If you haven't seen it before.
Necro says.
Oh, Joe
Rogan.
Whatever. So
not
but
abduction
the
here.
Joe Rogan interview, the
He's
Joe
the one
Rogan
that tells
interview
you
with
if
Bob
there's
Lazar is
big
amazing.
pills out there. Go ahead and take them and see if they work.
He asked the questions a documentary guy should have asked.
They should have, yeah.
6
But in
people.
the documentary is like this jerk off to like ooh spiritualism and like
Scary.
fucking aliens and blah, and there's
Government
like so many
hides shit.
stupid annoying
Yeah.
shit. But like the Joe Rogan interview is honestly really interesting because it's a long form interview. It's like 3 hours long, and
Plus tax.
they go into details. It's like, and you realize that like hey, Bob Lazar is just like a human being. The documentary doesn't paint him as a human being. It paints him as like being this like
Kind
a
of
little bit of a
weirdo.
mystic
Penis.
weirdo.
It's
But-
not only him. There's a lot of ex-military personnel.
Oh
that
no,
work
Oh,
for the
yeah.
military.
100%.
You can
But
go in and look deeper than that. Even
Totally.
I can't remember the name of the astronaut that
Penis.
apparently he has a penis.
But he wrote a book about his experience going to the moon and the different things that he saw there. And it just goes all back to how informative people are and what they tried to tell everyone. He's obviously not the first. There's been a lot of people. There was even a president that went ahead and was discussing the fact that there is more than likely
Quid pro quo.
Penis.
well,
Hearsay, Carrie.
That's right. It's a conversation of a
It's
conversation.
a
He's being
hearsay from like
impeached.
8
That
people
was-
that hearsayed it.
I know.
That's right. That we happen to be sitting right there listening to
Yeah,
it.
directly.
no, it's the truth. I mean, it goes back
Loud talkers.
to Abraham Lincoln going back and talking about the giants that walked the earth before, the Americans went ahead and got there. It goes back to
There's
where,
a ton of interesting stuff. Yeah.
Andrew, have you looked into the little baby alien that's like this tall that they dug up in like some other country? And like,
No. All right. I would be happy to have like a proper conversation about all this. Obviously, we're getting into the realm of like, this is like
it was
so
found
this topic is not going to get.
all right, let's just change the subject. Then.
But I love this topic, and again, I think Bob Lazar is a really amazing person.
Dan Aykroyd on
I don't know
Joe
if I
Rogan
believe
was
him.
also good about talking
Oh,
about
Dan
aliens.
Aykroyd's amazing, but he's talking a lot about
we
Bigfoot.
love him.
Well, yeah, he's all over the place.
Bigfoot.
I
Jesus.
know, but like
His alien stuff was interesting.
I find this shit. I mean, as a child who grew up in the '90s, especially with like the X-Files stuff, like I mean, fuck, I love that stuff,
Oh, I love.
and I want to believe. I'm like
Black
one of those
oil.
guys, but I need proper like give me some like good solid evidence that actually makes sense and we can talk about in a
Go
long.
ahead. There was actually
sensible way.
someone, governor in, yes, a governor in Canada that
Canadian.
was speaking.
Canada.
Arcade.
Yeah.
Arcade user 59 says giants, aliens, arcades, farts, and what more can a show provide?
Dude,
If you look back and repeat my words, if you look back on Abraham Lincoln's speech about giants
fuck.
in
Yes.
the Americas, you will find it. I know that there was a government official in
Jim, don't be a
Canada
bitch.
who was also speaking about aliens or something like that. Even a president, I cannot remember his name, but once I find it, I will let you know.
All right, I'm
The
a
truth is
conspiracy-
out there.
Dude, I'm 100%. I want to believe in this shit, but I want good evidence. about
Yeah,
believing
I
in
agree
this
with you,
shit.
Andrew. I want the evidence too. But
You
when you
know-
see Bob Lazar, it was an interesting.
That's
interview,
interesting.
though.
Like the most interesting thing that I've ever seen in my life about like, holy shit, like this guy might actually know what he's talking about. He
How
might
about when he
not
talked about the
actually be-
hand scanner, and then they
100%.
actually found the
and
hand
they
scanner?
fucking found it.
He described
Yeah.
it for weeks and months and years.
No,
and then finally
years, decades
years ago.
Decades. He was describing this shit, and then one showed up on fucking eBay or something.
Yeah, I know.
It was like this total nonsense.
That's
thing
it. Oh
where-
my god.
And people are like, "No, you put your hand on this fucking thing, and it measures your fucking the length."
And
of
they go,
your
they didn't have
fucking-
technology like that back then, but
They measured
did.
the length of your
They
bones
did.
in your hands. That's
Yep.
bullshit. And like all of a sudden, he's like, "Yeah, there it is," and they found it
They
40
finally
years
found it.
later
Mhm.
on eBay.
But-
That's what tells me it might be a lot of that shit. Is
There's
true
some
because
shit
he's
that
talked
might
about
be
that shit.
true.
Yep.
Yeah, President Reagan
Yeah,
spoke
fuck that
about
guy.
it. President Eisenhower and Obama
You
also.
don't even want to hear what she has to say. Fuck that guy.
No, I 100% want to hear about what. No, Gabby is into this. She should be part of this. I want her to be part of this conversation. She's
No, because I
What the fuck
have. You know what? I'm into
I'm-
the unusual.
I'm right there.
We just lost
Gone.
our audience. We lost Carrie. We lost Jim.
Yep, they're checked out. That's fine.
They're gone. Carrie
Uh,
muted herself. a
Dave is
long
drunk.
time
He's on the IRC.
He's not even drinking his Bud Light.
I know.
No, he just,
I love this shit, dude. Dude, like
where's Dave?
we
Dave?
three should just start a podcast because I'm curious about this stuff.
Let's do it.
UFOs and more.
I don't know. I just want to hear more about it.
What is that?
I'm gonna have
Is
my
that
kids
He-Man
watch-
He's
figures?
making He-Man figures.
Oh my god! I remember that when the eyes bulged out of the red dude right there, right?
Oh, there
Right?
he is. There he is, Dave.
And then he's got the suction.
Squeeze
cup
him.
man.
Squeeze him.
There
Oh
he
yeah, he's
goes.
squeezing him.
Whoa!
I
That's
remember
awesome.
that guy.
I like Manny faces. I thought that was
Yeah,
a cool
we could
figure.
turn the fucking head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Talking about vintage toys and games. You know what, Dave? I've got an original Star Wars, like those cards. It's a huge board, about as big as me. I'm 5'1",
And a
but
half.
it's probably about 5 foot 5'3", and it's all the original cards when they were released back in the 80s.
Are you talking
but-
about trading cards?
Like trading cards? Yeah.
yeah, but it's a big sheet.
Can you show us?
Oh, it's an uncut sheet.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Oh, do you have that? Can you show
Yeah.
us that?
No, I can't show it to you right now, but I will.
When we
next
come over, we'll check it out.
Hey, we're gonna. Yeah. Don't.
All right, I'm asking.
Don't touch it.
Ask for these 5 figures total, because I got screwed on the last deal because I could have gotten way more.
Yeah, you aren't. You know what, Dave? You are. I heard about what you're selling those at.
I didn't care. I was happy for the credit.
No, don't even do that. Hold on to them.
No, I don't think these aren't me. These are my brother.
You know what? They're
I had
really
no memory of these guys.
fine. Even those little like what are latex mud things? I don't know what they were called. You were talking
Muscle.
muscle.
Oh, the muscle things. Oh, the
Yeah.
little figures. Yeah, the
Little-
pink
they're
ones.
Little like
The little
muscle
pink- little
dudes.
Talked about this on the
Guys.
show.
Yeah, they have those at the
Yeah,
Toys
you
R Us.
did.
M.U.S.S.
Yeah, they stood for something.
Yeah. E.
Oh, they are. They're worth some money. I have a few
I
of
had
them.
so many of those guys.
I like the hand one. Remember there was a hand with his little
Yeah,
face.
he was like the
yeah.
he was like the fucking Santa Cruz guy.
Yeah, or the brick man. It was like a
Yeah, the brick
line
guy. I
of
totally
bricks.
remember that one,
I had a bunch of those fucking things.
I had a huge
Yeah.
I miss toys.
They don't make them like they used to.
And what do kids like collect now? Like, what are they into? What's the
Garbage.
toys?
They
Ar-
just
arcade one-ups.
Fortnite. They
Or,
just
no, I meant like little
wear a t-shirt. That's what they do.
one ups.
Fortnite and just wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, 5 for $1.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
If people are starting more to go to streaming stuff, how do they see commercials for toys? Like, how does that work? I wonder. You know, because that used to be a television.
Well, that's great.
market.
That's great. That's a super great point because like the whole thing about the TMNT thing was like, all right, so the reason why Eastman and Laird sold it to Play School, was it Play School Toys?
Play
I don't know.
What was Play School?
Playmates.
Playmates. All right,
Yeah.
so they sold it to them, the Japanese company,
Mhm.
to make toys, and the reason why the cartoon existed was to sell the toys.
Which they've made a new law about that where they can't do that anymore.
Yeah, right. But that was the fucking song. of our
Everybody was
childhood.
doing it in
That was
the
our
80s.
childhoods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every fucking cartoon.
thought it was
G.I.
too
Joe,
gross. Yep.
Transformers,
Everything. My Little Pony.
Everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Turtles. All this shit was like about selling toys.
Yep.
No, because no, it's not even about that. You know what? I
Transformers.
was born in the 80s. That's everything that I saw on TV. Those are the cartoons that I watched.
Yeah.
Now all the 80s babies are having their own babies, so now they want the toys. Now their children are going to grow up and want those, but how many of the originals are going to be out there?
That's
Everyone
right.
is going ahead just trying to make some money and selling them, and some people don't even know what it's worth because some of the things that they had, I wish I would have had as a child, and I'm an 80s baby.
See, I think they just make toys on movies now because if you go into a Target, it's like whatever the latest 3D Disney movie that just came out,
Yeah,
like
but
Moana or whatever, you know.
That's what my kids want, but I want the original ones. You know, I want the original strawberry shortcake that smells like it.
It smells like strawberry.
Oh yeah, which is their
What
hair.
was the
smells
purple
like
dude?
that.
Remember the purple guy? What
Oh,
was the-
sour grapes.
Was it grapes?
Wasn't it grapes? Sour grapes? Wasn't that like one of those guys?
He had like the
I don't know.
mustache.
I could only afford Orange Blossom. That's all,
All right. So, but
So
here's
as
the
a
problem.
child, that's all my parents want me.
But here's a fundamental problem. It's the same shit as these fucking arcade games. It's the same fucking thing, except we can afford them instead. But we're also the same kids who are buying the fucking old toys. Like
Yes.
we're the same generation and
So are we.
generation behind us who are buying the fucking My Little Pony toys and the He-Man toys that Dave is selling. Like that's what our generation is doing right now, is like buying up that shit from our
Why
childhood.
do you think I got the She-Ra? Because I didn't
Princess
get
of
I'm
Power.
not.
She-Ra,
You guys,
She-Ra.
I didn't get to have it as a child. So now that I'm older,
And now you've got it. You can wear it whenever you want.
Yes, all the time.
Look at you.
And now she can finally sleep at night.
That's right.
Yes, I can, and I can wear it while I'm sleeping. No,
That sounds uncomfortable.
that's the thing, is that it goes into fashion like the seasons. You know what I mean? Except it's the eras. Everyone in high school is into the 80s, especially since Stranger Things came out, and everyone's like,
Oh, that was cool. Yeah.
But this is nothing new. If you talk to, like, I talk to my dad all the time. He's talking about monster movies, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they've been remaking that shit. They targeted when I was your age, they were targeting our audience, remaking movies that we grew up with."
they have. And they have been made over and over again. How many
So the
movies?
shit that was coming out in the 80s that were remakes, like Thing and stuff like that, those are original monster movies that like our parents.
I saw, what is that movie?
Pretty in Pink.
Rocky Horror Picture, my favorite movie.
They're gonna remake that in about 10 years, and
They will. Yeah,
I hope.
I'm not gonna watch the
I hope they
movie.
don't either.
That's
no, but you know it's gonna happen
Just fucking
because
leave
they're
that
gonna
shit
try to
alone,
make.
please.
They're gonna try to make money. It's like the Princess Bride. They're gonna try to remake
Oh,
that.
that's
shit.
another one. Don't touch that. Don't touch the Big Trouble Little China.
They are just like they
know.
raised it overboard.
My
Because
point is
Ugh.
that in 20 years from now, the kids that are growing up with Pokemon and shit,
They don't
they're
know
going to
it.
be remaking that crap to appeal to them in their 30s and 40s.
Well, they already are. Look at the Pikachu detective. That's all Generation 1 Pokemon stuff.
Have you
For
guys
the adults, those are all
how
for the
big
grown-ups now
Pokemon
that grew up with
it
it.
is in Japan?
Nope. Someone say Japan.
Yes. Have you seen how big
No, I had to change it to this.
No, in Japan, Pikachu is absolutely huge. You should see the videos that are out, especially on Pikachu. They do full, what the heck are they called? Parades on just 100 people dressed as Pikachu doing a dance. It is
Get down tonight.
Really, I don't have a Pikachu costume, otherwise I would be, but I can play the song for you. It's a really big thing. Here we go. I'm gonna post it on the RSC.
Woo! Hey! I'm gonna buy that fat style. I'm gonna use it in trade.
There we go. I can post it. Look, you guys can all watch and see what I'm talking about. I feel like Japan is a little bit
Super.
No, they're electronically advanced compared to the United States. Oh, it's China.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a
they
given.
are. You know what? They were putting cell phones in a coin machine well before we even were. And that's what it is. You cannot be biased and say that, oh, the United States is #1 when it comes to electronics, because obviously we are not. There's a big diversity and you have to go worldwide, especially when it comes to gaming. Japan is extremely huge. Everyone is into GTA. So am I. I had the original. That's really the only one I've ever played in. But, to have a video game played in your city and to be able to have a walkthrough where it's store, building by building, the way that you walk it and drive it and go through your town, it's actually like a game you're likely going to buy and play. And that's what they're doing there constantly. They're always updating, moving, seeing what is out there. And that's why I always say, you know what? Obviously, I live in the United States. This is what I was exposed to, especially, you know, in my time frame. But I've looked into the world and seen how much diversity there is out there. And the gaming community is not only limited to the United States, it's worldwide. And you have to look into the games and see how far technology has come, especially over the years. Sometimes, you know, you got to go ahead and open Pandora's box and see what's in there. And I went ahead and pushed the button and tapped into it, and I love what I saw. Everything that's out there, if you look into it a little bit more, it's a lot of animatronics, robots, video systems. Everything out there is geared towards having the most technology that's available to everyone. And it really is. The United States, especially since, you know, I live in LA, and there's a lot of people that come here, and that's what they do, is they try to come here to see everything that Los Angeles has. But in Japan, I don't know if you guys know that, but they have actual robots that walk the streets that can guide you. And it's not like it is here. So it's completely different. It's a completely different element to what we have and what we're exposed to, but at least I'm open to it and see what the world has to offer. And it's only going to get more advanced, just like in Ready Player One.
Yeah,
That's
I hope
why,
so.
well, it is. Look at everything that's going on, especially with the gaming systems. Ready Player One really tapped into what the future will bring, and that's what it did. You know, the video gaming system isn't not limited to a push button. It's gone up and beyond to where you can experience it in your
Sorry, I
home.
forgot to mute it too.
Jesus.
Don't worry about it, Mock. You need me to go over there and help you? He has an allergy going.
It's because I brought out my Tron stuff. It was all dusty, and it like made me like.
Oh my God, you got allergic from your collection.
Yeah, I did. I haven't dusted it in a while.
He's got allergies. That's what it is.
Ugh.
Take a Zantac or Allegra.
Yeah,
It
I get
will
something.
spray. But what is it? It's Vitar. What is it called? I can't remember.
What is it? A toy?
Those glasses that you put on.
VR.
VR. There you go.
Yeah, VR goggles.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
You know, why do you think VR got so big? Because you know what? And I will tell you right now. Because of porn that goes.
What are you talking about?
Make sure you know what you're talking about, because Mock might know what he's talking about.
No, I know.
Actually,
I hope
that
Joel's listening.
that was my second news item that I forgot to get to. Is Half-Life. The next Half-Life release is going to be a VR experience.
Wait a minute.
Half-Life, the game Half-Life. They just announced it yesterday.
I missed that announcement. Fucking tell
Yep.
me more about this shit, because Half-Life.
Oh well.
I don't know if it's
tell
going to
me
be an
more.
exclusive or not, though. That's the thing I'm worried about, because they have their own
Exclusive on
goggles.
Steam?
Well,
Oh,
no,
just onto the
Vive or whatever it
Vive,
is.
yeah.
That their goggles. I'm hoping it's not going to be exclusive.
I'm hoping not either, but I'll fucking upgrade to play that.
Fuck yeah!
If it's
So,
good.
It's going to be a first-person
I love
experience
Sade.
VR with Half-Life. With
You like Sade?
Yeah. So
Shot it.
I That could be cool. They have some cool VR stuff.
They make the best shit. I mean, honestly, like, let's
Around.
come down to brass tacks here. Like, Valve makes fucking amazing games.
Did you ever download the lab?
Yeah.
Val makes good fries too.
They have
Val's
some fun
is
little
great.
demo stuff on
Super
there.
super
VR.
fun little demos. Yeah.
Yeah, they put together the engine. That was kind of neat.
Yep.
Yeah, and the arrows.
That was their first one. Yeah, learning how to. Like, oh, you do this thing, and it's like, oh.
Smooth applicator. Nice YouTube punk. Smooth applicator. Coast to coast still. It's a good song.
Yeah, and YouTube Punk, Left 4 Dead 3. Yeah, I want that fucking thing too. We're actually all right. So Left 4 Dead 3. Speaking of that, fuck it, let's derail it. So Thursday nights on the Arcade Hangout Discord channel, we're doing a fucking PC gaming night.
Yeah,
so whoever wants to join us, we had a great time last Thursday.
Was there. Necros showed up.
Yep,
we played games.
We're playing PC games Thursday nights.
Thursday nights is our PC night. If you guys want to join us,
get on the Arcade Hangout Discord channel. If you don't know what it is, I don't know.
Download Discord. It's free.
Yeah. Reach out to any of us.
Discord is just a chat channel.
Yep. But we all talk on that and then play games. So we've been playing Team Fortress 2 lately, but that's just fucking around.
It's free. You can play it. It's free. It runs on anything pretty much. It'll run on a potato.
I have played before. I'm a Halo girl.
I want to play.
If you can play Halo, you can play this.
I think we should try Overwatch. Overwatch is fun. We should try it.
I think we should do Left 4 Dead next.
That's fun too.
But I've only
Overwatch. Everyone's got to pay for that. I played a little bit.
It's like $20.
I know, but the thing is,
tax.
But yeah, no. So we're doing gaming night is official on Thursdays. So
okay,
they're bringing it back.
We're doing it.
Baby.
If you want to play with us, we're playing PC games on Thursday nights.
Anybody can join. More the merrier.
I know where to go.
Everyone is welcome. Yep. We'll talk about the games we want to play, but at the very least, download Team Fortress 2 because it's free.
And
we just end up playing that for a little while until we figure out what game we're going to play.
Yep.
But we'll all be in there Thursday nights around 7.
Yeah, last week we just played that. Necros and I were on a team. The game keeps changing teams, so sometimes I'm with Andrew, sometimes I'm with Necros, sometimes I was with Fuzzy.
Yep, that's my buddy. So Dave, you guys all know from Xevious at Grinkers. Yeah, he's on there playing. But yeah, so we're doing PC gaming night Thursday nights. Our Discord.
Gary's back.
If you don't know what it is,
yep, I'm back. I'm awake now. I was just
getting
tired. Yeah, no, well, actually, I went for a brisk walk in the cold to the post office.
Oh my God!
I had to pick up my mail, and but now I'm awake. At least I was just really getting tired. It's been a really long week. All 2 days of it. What?
I can't even believe that you went for a walk. I was wondering where you were going.
Yeah. I was yawning. I'm like, I gotta wake up. I gotta wake up.
Oh, we're having a moment.
So, Carrie, I wanted to ask you, but you put it on mute and then you left. I was going to ask you, what was your favorite toys when you were like a kid? What was the toy that you really loved that you remember?
Honestly, then maybe this is part of where I space out with the toy talk. I really wasn't that much into the toys. Probably the closest, like I love my stuffed animals. I love Legos. I played with marbles, but not like, shooting them, but
So you didn't have a corporate toy that you wanted really bad, like a...
No, closest thing probably would have been the Breyer horses. Like I had
have an easy bake oven.
No, I didn't. I wasn't like, like I didn't. There was no even like cartoons that I was really like. I would watch Saturday morning cartoons, but I barely remember them. Like I just kind of wasn't into. And no, there was no good corporate toy that
you can remember that you were into. Huh?
No, yeah, and I wasn't into Barbies. Like I just
wow.
I loved my stuffed animals. The neighbor down the kid down the block had some Tonka trucks that I thought were cool. But so I just kind of I got
that's
nothing.
Why the toys talk was like spacing you out.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
like,
much. I'm like,
there's got to be a toy Carrie you like. Do you like Slinky? Do you like Silly Putty?
I did like Slinky, and but we didn't have stairs in my house. Was
That
Oh,
was
no.
silly.
Ranch
That
style.
was fun. Silly Putty was great with the newspaper, and
with-
you'd
yeah.
press it down and be like, "Hey, I got the newspaper."
And now
I
you
was
painted your Silly Putty now. It's all like
well.
dirty and
Well, that's just it. Like I was such a preservationist, like because I never knew like if I was ever going to get another toy. Like I would only get one Silly Putty in my life, and I better keep it pristine. So I was afraid to use it because then it would get
yeah,
dirty.
you don't want to
So-
ruin it.
That's
Drop
why
it in
she
the
makes such a
carpet.
great
It's
arcade
awful.
collector.
Yeah,
You got hair in it. It was awful.
right.
Don't
exactly.
touch
And don't touch it.
Oh,
and
Don't
that was
play the game.
there's kind of that like the like everybody had a sticker collection, but there was the people who had the stickers and immediately stuck it on something, and the people who were afraid to ever stick it on anything, and so
Never
they
peeled it
kept
off,
Put on
them.
a sheet.
Never
Yeah.
open
That was
play with them. That's
yeah.
Carrie's
in the
Carrie's the
box.
one that's sitting on like a fortune because she never opened
Well,
anything
what was that,
up and
Dave?
never.
Well, except my mom gave like my sticker collection away and things like that. So it's like when my mom
That would
got
be like master, like a scrapbooking, right? Like nowadays, like if you had those original stickers, like scrapbooks would be like fucking
Yeah.
amazing. If
Yeah.
you had the stickers to put them on there.
Remember
yeah,
Puppy?
but see, for my issue was I would have stuck them on it. I would be like, I can't put them on a scrapbook because
Can't wait.
Well, no, but you could
stuck.
sell them
That'd be
nowadays
Oh
on
yes,
eBay.
yes, that's very true.
and people would be like
Yeah.
mad about like collecting those things to stick them
Yeah.
on their.
You remember like
Scrapbook.
Puppy
Yeah.
stickers? They were like
Oh
little,
yeah, they stuck out like. yeah.
or they had
Oh, yeah.
googly eyes on them.
How about
Oh,
scratch-
don't get me started on googly eyes.
scratch-
That's an old
smell like
topic.
chocolate.
I know something I won't
But always
tell.
a good
I won't
one.
tell.
I
I won't
know,
tell.
I
I
have-
know something I won't tell. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I still have issues that I won't talk about.
Yeah,
The cartoon palette is one of my favorites.
not all
in
issues
this.
are bad.
I love it. I got something. I won't
Exactly. I have a bunch of original Disney stickers, the bubble ones.
Like Shrinky Dinks.
yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
Oh,
my
you guys
God.
remember Shrinky
Bubbly
Dinks?
ones.
Yeah.
In the
awesome.
oven.
Ones that
The
you
neighbor
can
had the
put
Shrinky
down
Dinks.
and they
Yeah.
have a little bit of air.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Poofy stickers.
Nice, yeah.
Did
was,
you?
That was the bulgy dinks.
It was a gift. The little-
Nice.
I got a
Yeah.
case of the Shrinky Dinks.
I cut open a
Aw.
Puffy sticker
Aw.
to see what was in it.
Oh, that's
It's
so
a thin-
sad.
Yeah.
It's a thin little sponge in there. That's a Puffy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little flat layer
SpongeBob,
of sponge.
SpongeBob,
Oh,
Shrinky
cool.
Dinks.
Yeah, no, nothing else. Shrinky
You
Dinks.
you dissected
The
them. Right.
crossover episode.
Those were the ones I was gifted for my birthday, and I never even opened them. The original Aladdin, The Lion King, Sleeping Beauty, Lady and the Tramp, Pocahontas. Those are all the little stickers I still have,
Nice.
including, coloring books, DuckTales. But
A woo woo.
I think I've moved too many times between my mom when my mom got remarried, and then like everything went because she moved into her then husband's house.
Oh.
So all my childhood stuff went in a garage sale. And then I've moved so many times that it's like like I have barely anything from my childhood. 'Cause,
Oh,
like that's just a lot of I'm not maybe I have an attachment disorder. I'm not really like I don't miss it. I don't care.
no, you don't. You know what,
Yeah.
Carrie? No,
Under
you don't.
hypnosis, you'd care.
Yeah. I have yeah, I know. Yeah, if I knew how much it was worth. Exactly. I do like I have like a cigar box full of like notes and things that I passed when I was in high school with my friends. And so I've
I miss my Trapper Keeper and my Polly Pocket. And my Hey Sister doll.
No, you do not.
Kid sister, I mean.
My
Wherever I go, she
And,
goes.
Those.
my stepmother threw away anything that was left over in the house. So everything that I have is very rare. But being, a grown child coming from that era, I really didn't have that much. So I'm trying to buy back whatever I didn't have.
Huh. Oh,
So-
nice.
Did you
My
guys ever
biggest-
have? Oh, go ahead.
No,
We're talking about
you know,
losses. My biggest loss was I had all my Intellivision games, which I had almost every single game for that system. I had a ton of games because I had a friend that had a collection as well. and he just gave them to me because he didn't play his Intellivision broke. He didn't play anymore, so he just gave me his games. I had this huge library of Intellivision games, and I had them in a bag in the garage. And my dad was one day out there cleaning out the garage, and he just hucked it in the trash. Didn't even he didn't even know it was in the bag. He was just cleaning the garage, getting rid of shit. And I went out looking for it, and I'm like, "Where'd my Intellivision and all my games go?" It's like, oh,
DuckTales, woo.
Woo!
Yeah. And to this day, he's not invited to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Fuck
Dad, you can
you.
replace all that shit on eBay now.
I don't care if you live down the street. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
You know what, Mock? Let me just say one thing to that.
No. Two
In
things.
in 86, 80,
Wait, how does that go? 86?
86 at 87, my uncle, who was a chemical and a chemical engineer for Chevron, was really into the electronics, considering everything that he was exposed to. He ended up buying
Gamma rays.
no, an Apple computer with a printer, a ton of floppy disk, a Nintendo, the original Nintendo when the first year it came out.
Oh.
My mother, since she didn't want us involved in anything to do with electronics, she wouldn't even let me watch TV, even though I was on Sesame Street. Grabbed everything.
Madonna and Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, grabbed everything and threw it in the garbage.
Oh,
Brand
shit.
new, still in the box. And everything that we had, any electronics that we ever had, completely dumped in there. She thought that education was number
The devil.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's how it goes. But I'm trying to go ahead and buy everything that I could from my childhood, but my uncle saved everything and he still has it. Not even the Apple One, the Apple II, the printer, everything that you could imagine. He's a hoarder and has it in his home.
He's a hoarder.
Wasn't that Apple? Wasn't Apple shit really expensive even back then?
Oh fuck, man! It was.
But compared to
it
what
was unpurchasable. It was crazy price.
Are we talking Apple II or what?
Apple One and Two.
Okay.
He was a
Just
chemical
Apple.
engineer
Apple
for Chevron back in one of the major scientists that was involved with Chevron for Techron back in the day. He saw computers and it would fill an entire room. So for him to be able to buy something that was
have a PC, yeah.
Oh, it was absolutely insane. He bought a few of them, not just one. So when my mom went ahead and dumped it in the trash the day it was in the box, went ahead and threw it in the trash every chance she got. He still had it. And he still has it in his home. Not just but multiple.
God bless the hoarders.
Right?
That's
you.
fucking yeah.
Thank you. So I told him, I said, go ahead and gift it to me. He says, it's already going to you because I want you and your kids to be able to put in a floppy disk.
Yeah, that's right. A floppy disk. It had to turn down the thing and wait 10 minutes for it to load.
Yeah. I just want to
Hi, Polly the penis.
I'm not sure that's related.
And I just love to have fun.
It's different kind of floppy.
Well, you said floppy.
I did say floppy.
Jim, you need the other sound like that. That's from Cheech and Chong's next movie where it's all Klaus. Remember they have the puppet and this little Klaus.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched those movies in a long time.
You too, boy.
Hey man,
LA.
All right, I should probably rock out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Here.
So are we
done?
Fuck, man. Like, what are the topics we even covered tonight?
Oh, we covered a lot of shit tonight.
We had a
Mandalorian
and you and Mock didn't even talk about Dragon's Lair.
I
for
know,
like
which
12
actually
hours.
they were they were funded, so we're getting our Dragon
Everything was
Slayer
funded
minis.
except for the stupid mat. So who cares about
Oh, good.
that?
For
Fuck the
another
mat.
$50, you can get a little
Your mat.
like LED on the back or
An
something.
air mat.
Oh my god, we didn't pay.
No, there
extra.
was a
Same price.
$300,000 thing, right?
Jesus
And
Christ!
you get a
Yeah,
little
for a
floor
mat.
mat.
Fuck that.
That's like a foot by a foot.
And
Yeah,
that's
guys.
a breaking point for you
Let's-
guys.
No, that was
we didn't
that
want
was
that.
that was the stretch goals. The shit
That was a
was
stretch
done
goal.
like the first 30 hours. This thing was fucking.
Just
on
think,
Kickstarter.
Mock, you could buy 4 of those and get an upright, like
Oh,
a regular size
Jesus.
cabinet.
Jimbo.
We're getting shit.
It's $90. If I put times 90 times 4, that's math. That's $400.
It's math.
That's math.
You can't argue against
That's
it. It's
not-
math.
No.
$4,000 for a Dragon's Lair that's out there.
It's not $4,000 for a Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is.
It
It's
is.
kicking on that door.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Back
it
door.
definitely is.
It definitely. Look at Gabriella. It definitely is.
No, it really is. Go ahead and try to find a Dragon's Lair laser disc because
I usually
I have
about-
one and I buy everything on site. I buy laser discs and records.
High five.
Putting it out there just like Jimbo did.
Yeah, but you guys are talking about you're talking about like how Daphne is the closest thing to it. Why don't you just fucking do a Daphne in a cabinet?
I do.
You
It's
could.
right over there.
My shit was all original.
Right over there.
Or you could do mock.
And there's my
Or you can do
bar.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's my
That's the
pulse
helmet
rifle.
of the lemon drops.
But no, for a
That's what that is.
Lemon drops are in the fridge. I
For
still
a-
have some.
I mean,
made
for how much
proper
money you put
batch.
into all these little 12-inch like desk ornaments, like when are you gonna like just be like, let's just buy like a full on?
All right, that's where
Cabinet.
Jim's going with this. Is he
Yeah.
wants you to buy a real cabinet? This is not giving hate.
This is different.
This is
a
Jim
miniature.
wanting to get you the original cabinet.
This is just a novelty fun thing for arcade collectors. If you're into that kind of thing, it's fun to have a miniature.
It's $100.
like
I
that.
spent
90 bucks.
I have-
Not even
I have-
$100. $90.
no, but like I have 3. I bought another one, so I've spent $400 for these stupid little games.
They're just
So, I
novelty
get it.
fun things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's fun.
obviously They're stupid. Just
But
to
still,
look-
$400 is not going to buy you a goddamn Dragon's Lair. So
No, but it's gonna go towards it.
Let's see.
I already have one. It works.
I'm not talking about you. Yeah.
I love it. You know
If they had a Forgotten Worlds, I'm sure you'd buy that too. But
I have
that's
one of
not the
those
point.
too. It works.
Yeah, a desk ornament. Yeah.
Nah,
So I have them on my bar right now. Can you see them?
We are now entering the Twilight Zone.
What I'm getting at, is, he's back. God damn it. So what I'm talking about is that Mock has very limited space.
Oh my
And
god, Dave from Buffalo is just like cracking up. He's not said a word for like 2
I
hours.
was laughing at
Sitting in
us.
the corner, cracking up like a
about
fucking
Mock.
maniac.
Mock, I would love.
Mock has love for Robotron, Tron, and Dragon Slayer. And I feel like those are the 3 games he should have in his little
I agree.
space.
100%.
But Gabriella, I can't hear you over everybody.
I know. You know what, Jimbo? Mock
Well, you were
is-
talking for like an hour. Let me talk a little
Go
bit.
ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Oh,
But I'm talking, you
She's
should
a
have
guest.
those 3 cabinets.
Let Mouth go ahead and speak.
Oh, Mouth, please speak.
Yeah, come on, Mouth.
She just called you Mouth.
I'm Corey Feldman now. Sweet.
Ralph now?
Yeah.
Come on, Mouth. Go ahead. No, because he knows Goonies, and I can do the truffle shuffle, but that's enough.
Prove it.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
I was
No,
just a
don't
joke.
do it.
And we're off of YouTube.
Don't do it.
And
I
we're
need a-
flagged.
I need a lemon shot for that.
Make me one. Can you fax it?
I'll send it through here. Digitize it like through my Tron laser.
No, let Mouth.
We're gonna have to put you on the grid.
Go Mouth. Go ahead.
Let me send an orange first. Make sure it's okay.
He's already got-
Perfect. Yeah.
He's already got 10 of them. All right. So
Damn.
we do this every week.
Yeah.
Why?
We even
I
get-
don't know,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
Almost.
And after almost 200 episodes, we're not sure why.
200
Right, yeah.
episodes.
I want
5 years later.
I like to see what Mox got. He's an avid collector.
No, I'm not. I don't have anything here. This is
He's
all I
got
have
over
is
5,000 games.
Matt,
Come on.
and I got a cocktail
He's got a
here.
laptop.
I got a
I love to play your
60 in one.
Whoa.
I don't hardly have anything. This is
I
it.
got two.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And,
if you count all the
5,000
thousands of
games.
games I have on my name machine,
You had the most games of all of us.
you can play.
question. Yeah.
You can play Naughty Boy to your heart's
he has
content.
every game. Yeah.
But hey, you have your Robotron, and that
I
was
have a
win.
Robotron I
That
just
was-
fixed.
that was
I
a-
love that.
Yes,
That's a big. That was a big win.
50 million or 50 or 500,000 points.
500,000. That's way better
That's
than mine.
awesome.
That's a pretty decent
Yeah.
score, I think.
That's a
I
really
mean,
I'm like 2.5.
it's respectable.
Yeah, 250,000. I think is like my best score. So you're fucking playing.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun with that. I was so excited to finally get it fixed. The vertical hold got broke. It was broken at the widest, or everything's off screen, on the edges. And you got it. You can't play. It's unplayable. Your robot runs right off the screen. You can't see the projectiles and stuff. So nobody has that I could ask around a vertical hold for a K 7000, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
K7s are pretty easy to work on.
Not forgetting a vertical hold. Everyone says talk to Buffett. Buffett hasn't been on our show, and I tried calling, and he never answers his phone. That guy. So I end up having to use resistors to bring it down. Have you guys done that before?
You're talking about, you said vertical hold.
Not like 10 times.
I'm sorry. Yeah, horizontal hold. I'm
hor-
sorry. Horizontal hold.
size or hold?
That's what I meant.
Or the
horizontal
width.
size.
So the width-
Horizontal.
So you're with
That-
coil
that-
blue.
With coil blue, yes.
So then you just need to
Look,
so he's
it's
working
blue
with
at
width
the
coil.
widest amount.
Well, but if his width coil is fucked up and it is broken apart in the inside, then
yeah,
he could have.
it is.
All right,
That's
this is
$10.
way too much
Yeah.
technical. Yeah, if you can find.
That's
the
what I couldn't
coils?
find anywhere.
Does
Everyone
K7
says
with coils exist on the market?
no, and you got unless I can get one from
Width
Buffett,
coils
which
are
I
hard.
haven't talked to. So I had to use resistors in its place to bring it down. So I have resistors on top of resistors.
If the
just to
coil's
you
fucked
gotta
out,
stack
just
them
replace the
together.
cap.
What's that?
It's not a cap.
if
it's a coil.
Yeah, no. If the coil is fucked, then I would just replace the value of the width cap.
If you can, but he apparently had to stack a shitload of fucking caps to.
Oh, he said resistors. Caps
Well,
are
whatever
different.
they are. There's those little.
It
It looks like a cap.
That's what it
It's-
is. Yeah.
Yay! It
Oh,
fucking
Yay,
works.
it worked.
They
Yeah.
look like
All right,
little
it works.
pillows. They look like little pillows with two little lines coming off of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Caps.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
Okay.
Resistors, caps.
Ceramic.
Not a cap because a cap's more like it looks like a trash.
Not
can. It's
necessarily.
Well,
that.
the
not
polypropylene
necessarily.
caps
Yeah, they're
they're like they're almost like a dark orange
Yes.
reddish.
They could be
Yes.
pillows.
That's
Yeah.
it. They look
Okay.
like little pillows with two little legs.
Yeah.
So,
Dirty pillows.
Okay. So you
He
did
stacked
a width
pillows.
cap.
So he
So-
stacked like 10 of them together.
I had
fix his
to
width
squeeze
coil.
that down because it was blown out at the widest.
Or you can just
So-
buy a new fucking monitor chassis. But
well,
anyway,
yeah,
it's working great.
But
But
yeah.
it's working now.
Lose the weight
Yeah.
quick.
Congratulations.
I used a
And that was-
soldering gun to death on that damn thing. So
Holy shit! You did more than Gak.
way more than Gak. I had to
you
keep
punch-
doing it and then checking it, putting another one on, checking it, putting another
Yeah,
one, checking it. You
I've
know?
been there.
Stacking
I've
them
been
all over
there.
the place.
Doing that, yeah.
I did that with my Donkey Kong Jr. a while back.
Ugh,
Yeah.
sucks. It's,
All right, let's get the fuck out of here because
all
this
right.
is getting stupid. tonight.
Just
This
now?
is all dumb.
I know. We've been
Fuck you,
stupid for
Robotron.
at least an hour. We've been stupid.
No, you have not. For all of you out there that don't know what we're talking about, it's called a flux capacitor.
Oh, see,
There
Got
you
it.
go.
It's fluxing.
basically,
Gabriel knows it.
Steve just took his Robotron back in time,
Fluxing
They
all
did.
over.
Yep. Took it back to the 80s and it worked just fine.
and it's
I
no
did.
matter if you just
Yeah.
stack a bunch of
Monitor.
electronics on that monitor.
And every
it'll
time
just-
I've add one, it only move it like 2 millimeters.
Yes,
Fucking
yeah.
sucked.
I know it sucks.
Yeah.
That is a hack.
It's
It
a
is.
stupid
It's
hobby.
such a hack.
It's such a hack.
I feel
Yeah.
sorry for when I sell it to somebody and then they look at the chassis and go,
You're never
"Oh,
gonna
what
sell
the
that."
fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You're never selling that thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right,
That's- Yeah, you're right, Carrie. I'm gonna keep this for a while.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
we'll
absolutely.
we'll see you all next week.
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for
Good
joining
night.
us. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, YouTube punk. I do cross my fingers.